hello, good evening. Yeah, hi. Welcome to Tabletop Talk. We're waiting on Emery, whose PNG is also not loaded yet, which is why we have this weird blinky mountain here. Welcome. Hi, Drake. How are you today? Yo, Mangled Insanity, thank you so much for the raid. Hi, raiders. Hi, I'm Nora. I'm a vampire on the internet. This is Drake, who is a goat on the internet. And exactly. And we are doing Tabletop Talk. Also, we are gonna get joined by Emery the Archwizard in just a minute. No audio for you? No, that's on my end, but I don't know why. Oh, you know, I replugged the thing. I bet it changed audio sources. Good thing we are doing this, right? Output device. So it should be on chat, I believe. Let me see, where's Discord? Say something? No, it does not work out. System? Try again. Okay, let me just look at these settings. Oh, this is also on default. That's wrong. Put this on chat. Oh god. Okay, now it works. Hello.
Hello.
You missed Drake doing a goat sound, a very cute goat sound.
Meh.
So somehow you work. Yeah, okay. Let me just look. This should be on this mic. Do you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Cool. Okay. Yes, I got a new USB cable for my thing, and I hope the stupid sound problems end with that. And if they don't, well, I have a USB cable now, which I can do nothing with. Thank you for pointing that out, Sander. As usual, you're our lifesaver. Let's see who's here.
Yes.
So, did I do my intro? I think I got interrupted. Because for the raiders, for Mangles people. Did I do it? I'm just going to do it again. Hi, I'm Nora. I'm a vampire on the internet. I do games, I sometimes do art, and I do tabletop RPG stuff, which is either DMing, playing, or in this case, reviewing old games to learn lessons from them. Let's see what's here. Wax was first, meaning Wax, you get a free emote of 1,000 points or less. And you... Oh, sorry. Sander did first. Sander gets that free emote. I am sorry. But Rex is also here. Sander is here. Haircut is here. I'm better reading today. Pi is here. Hi, Pi. And Mangled is, of course, here. Yeah. Yeah, you redeemed first. Sander is... We talked about my eyes being bad. One free compliment from Drake. Oh, that's a different one. Well, Drake, are you willing to give Sander a compliment?
Yes, I'm quite willing to give Sundered a compliment. Sundered, you are best in six-legged individuals that I've ever met in my entire life.
Aw, works. Hello, Emery. Your PNG is not loaded yet.
It will.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry about that. I got caught up.
Yeah, it's all good.
All good.
My coffee. With a very obnoxious magpie.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. He went out of my house.
What is this?
I had to grab him by his little feet and take him out the door.
Oh.
Where do I have this? Go away.
Let a magpie just hang out in
Understandable.
my house all day. I'm gonna be real. I don't want to do this one.
This one's pretty bad.
You have
I was like, oh, this is gonna be a funny haha Drake game, and then I was reading it 2 days ago, and I went, nope, this is a bad one.
This is a really bad one.
Oh, listen, this is bad, but it's not the way I think where we will get angry. It's the way we will be like, dudes, what were you thinking, please?
Yeah, this is more of a how you don't do your funny game.
Yeah, it's hard to take this seriously. Also, one thing that will carry me through this, from start to finish, is just that the art is solid as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That's cool.
yeah. I do enjoy
It
this
reminds me a lot of
cover.
the older Funny Animals comics
Yeah.
back from like the 70s and 80s.
I mean, just look at
more like watercolory. It's nice.
yeah. Just look at this. I mean, look at this dapper dog. This dapper dog gives this game like 2 points just on this very own.
What's up with that fucking lizard man down there trying to give that guy the Gluck 9000? What's up with that?
He's really into it. Yeah.
He's getting it.
Good thing that guy's wearing 2 belts to protect that. To protect that area.
You can't protect it. You can't get in there. He's gonna get in there.
Not against the lizardman.
Yeah, I think he might, but the beer is safe at least.
His pants are up so high. They're
Yeah.
over his navel. Look at that.
It was the style at the time.
Short purs.
Yeah, it was the style at the time, Emery.
Radical. Oh, I'm so down. Let's go.
Yeah, the art is really the best thing. Then we start weirdly enough on like a map of a bar, which at this point in this book you wouldn't really understand why.
Yep. You would have no idea. And why is there a dance floor? Why are there scorch marks everywhere? What's going on?
Like that map looks like Clint McElroy's map when he decided to take a turn GMing and he ran Fate for the boys. Now I'm gonna go get that map. Give me a second because that's the energy.
I mean,
Fate. Really specific cut.
Okay, God.
But
something is wrong with Emery's audio, Max. What?
Oh, really?
I think it sounds normal on my end.
Yeah. He sounds pretty solid to me.
Yeah, say something, please.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
He sounds pretty solid to me.
Bonjour.
Yeah, say something, please.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
He sounds
a little silent again, as usual.
It's the usual. I'm quiet.
Yeah, to have 200% Emery.
Thank you. I'm always quiet because I run a very specific mic setup, and when I don't run it, my audio clips like crazy because I don't know. I actually don't know why. I've tested it for like years, but I run the same audio setup and the same filter setup that I always have, but like my compressor screwed up like two streams ago and made it really, really bad.
Okay, this is
Tales from the Floating Vagabond be like
it's very similar. Is that a brain? Is that a big brain? I think that's a big brain. Like, okay, I kind of vibe with this. I vibe with the bar just being on the wrong aspect ratio because this man is very white.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the energy so much.
Yes. Oh, that's good.
The fucking picture and stretched it.
Yeah. You can see that you also stretched this somehow weirdly. Because everything that should be round isn't quite round. I don't know what he did to it, but it isn't right.
Oh, hey, I'm here. There we go.
Oh, yay, you're not in. You're too small though. I have to make you bigger. I ensmalled you because you were like a giant thing. A giant mountain,
yeah, that's
blinky mountain.
Yeah.
The loading thing should just be a big fat nothing from those PNGs.
Big mountain.
Yeah, big blinky mountain that's in the way. Yeah, true.
Oh my god.
Blinky mountain.
Well, that was a great way to start off. All right, great job. We've done it. We've done Tales from the Floating Vagabond.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's
amazing game.
Introduction. And on the 8th day, God said, "I need to drink." Quickest start of book to God we have ever had, and will probably ever have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hate this introduction.
Yeah, this introduction's so bad. It's like they read Callahan's and then just went like, "Well, how can we make it better?" And then they didn't.
So I didn't read this actually because it felt like very unnecessary.
The energy of this book is like 80s record scratch. Now, do you think that's how it would go? Like, it's so fucking annoying. I despise every other sentence in this book. I'm just gonna say that flat out so that my comments are not, "Oh, I hate the writing," because that would be every comment that I have.
Yeah, I will say yes. This book is very random in the worst way. Where Toon is like had a mission. The mission was to make your player Toon. This book has the mission to look to read very cool, and it fails miserably on that. I don't know why.
There's nothing that's more cringe than people failing at trying to be cool.
Also, haircut, I agree. Like making the players make the map can really work really well. I think it works better at a table than like online though, because there's more of a lost in translation aspect if you describe things without instantly being able to like see if they understood or not, because you can't see the faces.
Oh, I didn't notice on page 6 there's Daisuke Jigen. That's cool. And Lupon's like right on the next page. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Also, the art again, I do enjoy the art in this. You will get a lot of. We can count, I think, the women who are not in bikinis on 0 fingers, though.
Yeah. But it was all drawn by a woman too, who was a furry, which is interesting. One of the most celebrated furries of all time.
Art gonna be real.
What?
There's a lot of bare feet in these arts.
Ah, yes, there is. Also, mostly by women. She liked, I think, to draw those, which is fine. So we have a bunch of credits. This book came out in 1991, second printing 1992. I guess that would be this book, because otherwise it wouldn't be in there. So, Trey, what other games were out at the time of this book coming out?
Ah, crap, I had that pulled up. Let me pull it back up.
You told me you had. You got to respect an artist who is confident enough to draw feet. That's art. Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed, and many people do not.
Yes.
Feet are hard. Feet are very hard, yeah. You have to be a walk on them all the time.
So I'm gonna be real. This one kind of fucked me up. Like, this one kind of hit me out of nowhere, because I remember really enjoying Avalon Hill games. Classic Avalon Hill published a series of bookcase games that were, I believe, called the Avalon Hill bookcase games, that included, I think, Republic of Rome and the traditional survival game that I can't remember. I think it's just called Outdoor Survival. That was used with a lot of the original D&D games. I remember using that system when I was playing in a Greyhawk campaign 20 years ago. And yeah, it's wild, you know? Like, it's so crazy to see like this quality of stuff coming out of that same company in that same era. Like, what?
Yeah, I think this who is editor, who had the fingies in this the most?
They did Merchant.
The first credited guy did.
So Lee Garvin, yeah. Okay.
Lee Garvin. He was the one I found out the most about.
Okay.
Which wasn't really very much, honestly. The other 2 writers kind of faded into obscurity. But this guy went on to work for Alderac Entertainment Group, West End Games. He worked for Skirmisher Publishing, Pinnacle Entertainment Group, and his own company, Reality Check.
Okay.
And he wrote games like Badass Zombie Killers, The Noble Wild, Control, The Game of Absolute Corruption, things like that. He passed away in 2019.
Okay.
So this was the thing that he wound up getting known for, though.
Oh, I'm so sorry, brother.
Yep, exactly. So 1991 was an interesting year, because it was the year that the Amber diceless role-playing game was released, which I'm sure we'll cover on this channel someday. Much to my cringe. Then there's also a very famous game that got released that year that everybody's still playing today, called Vampire the Masquerade.
Okay.
So yeah, this was the period of time where we had this getting released right alongside that. So it's interesting because...
we can obviously see that the better game lost out on this one. Unfortunately, Vampire continued to have great success in Tales from the Floating Vagabond, despite its incredible writing and wonderful game design. His language.
Yes, amazing art.
We truly live in the worst timeline.
Dystopian hellscape.
Fuck. Oh God! Wait a minute. I just envisioned the worst possible timeline. Think about this: Tales from the Floating Vagabond LARP community instead of Vampire the Masquerade.
You can imagine that
just as seriously.
just imagine like half the people showing up just wearing steampunk gear every time.
Yeah, I had to also look up when Teenagers from
Vampire.
Outer Space came out, and it's 1987.
Mm-hmm.
Which I
Yeah.
think, if you want to play, okay, no spoilers, but Teenagers from Outer Space will get on the short list thanks to this game because I want to review that now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and that would be more fun than this one. But the reason why all this build-up is because, yeah, this game's really, really terrible, and it's quite obvious why Vampire got popular and this one didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, they immediately start talking about God right away. That tells you immediately this is going to be great.
So the idea is that
The
God.
original Cult came out around that time too.
Yes,
huh?
yes. So,
And
so I believe.
Cinnabar did too. Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, not
1991 was a plague.
Not
Yep.
everything can be good, but no. Vampire was a good game, so
It
not
was,
everything was
I
bad.
actually do like it.
Like,
OG Cult was not great.
yeah, I mean,
real.
hey, it's just. Man, you just pointed out there was also AD&D was out and lots of other stuff was out.
Yeah, there was tons
So
of stuff out.
you can't. So it's not like this is 1980s 82 and you have the Star Trek license and you make a game about it now. No, don't really know what the fuck you're doing. No.
No, this is there are established things, and most people in the industry had been working for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like Hero Quest was really big at this time too.
Yeah. So the basic idea, when I like skimmed this, is on the 8th day after God made reality, he made a bar to get a drink. And now we go, and now players are also going to go to that bar and have adventures there. Which, far as that goes, is pretty self-indulgent, but it's okay, fine. Let's use that as a framing device, I guess, for whatever we want to do.
Mm-hmm. You have your standard stuff. For creating characters, you determine a character type, but they don't list like space aliens or anything right away, and so they go on about, oh, you want to be an adventurer? You want to be a guy that wears 1940s clothes?
Yeah.
You want to be a Stone Age barbarian? Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that it goes right into character generation. Thank you.
Yes, that is one thing it did right, instead of bloviating for another 12 pages about God.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we're not
this
here
was,
for Continuum.
oh god no. This actually does time travel better than Continuum. So there we go.
What?
That is entirely impossible, Drake. You're lying. God, fuck that game.
Fuck that game so hard. This was also the era when they decided to, okay, let's have attributes be a very small score on your sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Where like a 2 is an average person, a 1 is below average, and then a 6 is usually the pinnacle. Shadowrun was doing this too, so Vampire did this as well, that kind of thing.
Yes. And just
Very
to
popular.
explain the one mechanic you need to know to understand how this game works is you have an attribute which is on a scale of 1 to, I think, like realistically 5 or 6, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you roll on a d10 and you roll under or on your attribute to do something. So if you have a 2 in strength and try to lift something, you're likely to not do it. However, the DM is also encouraged to be like, yeah, okay, you don't have to roll for this. It's you're lifting a table, that's fine. And then you have skills. If you have a skill that applies, you add that on top of your attribute. So you can, and skills can be up to +4. So you can have like basically a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 even chance of doing it. And there can be modifiers though to your thing.
Yeah, there are an ungodly number of them for such a simple system.
But there's but it's basically a single D10 roll, which, simple system, fine. Not everyone wanted to use the D20. Who cares? It works. This part is hard to fuck up if you do.
And if something is more difficult, they simulate that by saying, okay, roll a bigger die.
Yeah. And that is also
That's it.
It also kind of works, though there's literally only 2 dice you can switch to at that point if you're on a 10 scale.
This is one of those games that actually has D30 in the rule set because they were trying to sell them in 1991.
That did not work out for them.
No, it didn't. But yeah, that's the whole core thing. If somebody who is more new or more of a greenhorn to RPGs who's played Savage Worlds, this is almost like the inversion of that in that regard.
Wax to explain, so if you have 6 attribute and 4 skill, you're at 10. So you on a normal roll, you basically always do it.
Yep.
But if you're only on rolling attribute, then it's always a bigger chance to fail, but the DM can give you a smaller die as well. So that's
Yep,
kind
and
of that part I think works.
Oh yeah, it works fine.
So
Works fine.
another thing that I like about this, which is why I started reading. When I started reading, I was like, oh, they're doing some good things here. It's like, okay, we have attributes. Which attributes exist? We have strength, which is what you would expect. We have nimbleness, which is dodging. And we have aim, which is shooting, attacking. And splitting these up is very good because many games is, well, yeah, dexterity. And then dexterity is a total god stat. Like, for example, what's the game called? Where you are like gods in White Wolf. God damn it.
Oh, Scion?
No, not Scion. The other one.
Aberrant?
No. Oh, the anime one.
Oh, the anime one. Oh. Oh, brain fart.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Guys?
No, Exalted.
Exalted, yes.
Oh, fuck Exalted!
Yeah, but Exalted also has this problem where you have like a normal person that has 2 or 3 decks and you have 56,000 dex dice. And it's bad. But this game makes 2 stats, works for me. Smart, so smart you are, cool, how cool you are, and also good looking, I think. And common sense, how like it's basically your willpower in a way.
Yeah, willpower, wisdom, basically.
Other systems call this willpower, wisdom. And then you have luck, which can also be used to defend, and this is a general roll on this if you don't know what to roll on stat.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is tangentially similar to the special system that everybody knows and loves from the Fallout games.
Oh, yes, indeed. Also, and then last but not least, so you get 20 points to divide on 7 attributes. That's what a character gets. So that means you have like 3 in everything if you do averages.
Yep. Pretty much.
If you do that, you will have 3 hit points. And keep that in mind. So the most hit points you can even have in this system is 7.
Yep.
Because the hit points are your strength plus your luck divided by 2.
Yep.
Keep in mind that you have very few hit points in this game. Please, for later. Keep that in your mind, in your brain pan for like in 50 pages from now. So that's fine. You have your 20 points distributed, right? Next you get by a stick and by skills. What is that? Well, you have 1,500 points to do so, which sounds like a lot, but they could have legit divided this number by 50 and been fine.
Yep.
Because everything else costs hundreds of points for no reason.
They did this because of how the XP system works, which we'll get to later.
Yes. So what's a shtick? Well, a shtick is the thing your character can do that no one else can, except if they also pick it.
This is the only thing that I enjoy about this system, specifically because it's the only time I feel like this game is actually solid. The idea that the shticks are actually fun, like these are actually really cool abilities.
And
I could see them working out very well.
I agree.
At a table.
But I also have big problems with them, which we will get to. So just keep in mind we have like 1,500 points for this stuff. And then we have some money, which I don't think really matters that much. Like in any system we ever play, if the GM just wants to give you money, they will. So meh. And then they even give you some archetypes in case you don't really want, in case you just want to play right now.
Yep.
And
the
that's
beer
also
and
very
pretzel
good
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's look at one of these. Let's look at the tough guy. Strength 4, nimble 3, aim 3, smarts 1, cool 2, common sense 2, luck 2. So this person has 3 hit points. He's a tough guy though. Keep that in mind. Stick, Schwarzenegger or Rambo effect. We will see what that means soon. They have some skills, headbutt. With Dabbler, it's the first thing is strength plus 1, so 5. Hurt people, strength plus is at hack, which is plus 2 is so it's 6. Then you have some items, and then that's your character. This is all you need, which is good. For beer and pretzel, it's really good. Here we see some random characters. I vibe with the Rhino dude, who's just not into whatever is happening right now.
I'm gonna be real. I'm not into the Rhino, dude.
Oh, I'm not into
Now-
him, but I vibe with him.
Now the next page with an elf in a Moody Blues shirt, that's my fucking vibe.
Yes.
yeah, that
I
is,
I knew you'd like that.
Let's
I
go.
agreed.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm in this system.
Yes. And now,
I'm in the game.
yeah, we get to the first thing where it's like, okay, let's go a bit more in depth into stuff, which is you
Yep.
can be a non-human character,
Yep.
which is works kind of the same as the other stuff, but the races they give you, like for example, elf. Slender humanoids with big eyes, pointed ears, that's shorter than humans. Elves are musically inclined, love trees, tend to act flighty and aloof. They are the ultimate flower children. Attribute cost: strength and common sense costs double after 4. Nimbleness, aim, smarts, and cool are half cost up to 2. So this kind of means if I want aim at 2, I only pay 1 attribute point for it. So I basically have everything at 2 here that they mentioned for 1 point. And then if I don't raise my strength and common sense above 4, then I basically only get more points.
Yep.
This also applies after character creation, so you think, okay, I'm more powerful now technically, but later on I will have to pay more. And then they have modifiers. They have a +2 to look good at all times, and all strength skills cost double. Here's your minus for them, because I think most combat is some combat, at least close combat, is based on strength and not aim. And that's
but
how,
if I take what is it? Swing mean pointy things with panache.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate this skills. I can just circumvent this.
Yeah.
True.
That's
you
the way to circumvent it
You
right
can
away out of the
circumvent
box.
lots of this. Yeah, there's a lot of. We are getting to that. There's a lot of other races here. They are not made equal. I'll tell you that for free. Like the Rhino I talked about earlier, gets free armor, which is really strong, and it gets just basically also good stats and stuff. You can be a cute furry thing. Which doesn't have a picture here. I do like this one where it's like, oh, we cut the tree. This is classic cartoon. I cut the branch off so the tree falls down and the branch stays up.
Yes. And wags, no, they don't start at 1. They start at 0.
Yeah.
But you have to buy at least 1 point.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was back when they weren't thinking.
Indeed, that is a fair point to make, and also one of the bad things about this game that they aren't like, you have 14 points to spend or whatever on 7 attributes. No, start at 1. No, they say 20 points, and you have to spend 1 at, which is just,
Yeah.
And then so here we come to our first thing. So what's the shtick like? Yeah, well, we can give 20 of them, which really, having read them is not enough, because most of these don't really, they will not stay fun, I would say.
No.
But yeah, let's look at them. So we have the Schwarzenegger effect. That's the first one, which is this guy. Like a bunch of holes in him, weapons in the back, doesn't even know. So the major effect of this shtick is the character's inability to feel pain. In combat and at all other times of damage, normal characters must make a normal strength test whenever the amount of oops points, or hit points, taken at one time exceeds their strength score. A character with this shtick, however, never needs to worry about such things as blood loss, consciousness, pain, etc. Whether all of this is because they are brain dead to pain, or that they are hopelessly macho, no one knows for sure. The bartender, who is in this game the DM, merely keeps track of all damage taken until it equals or exceeds the character's oops points total, at which point the character undergoes a normal luck test with a -2 bonus. So -2 bonus meaning you -2 from the dice, it is a bonus. To the die roll, see chapter 3. This way the character never knows just how bad off he really is until he collapses. The minor effect of this shtick is that the character may not receive any medical attention other than first aid, and that without anesthetic, while in view of other sentients. The player has the option of speaking in a heavy Austrian accent, thus making everything he says virtually indecipherable. Note, Also, that the character with Schwarzenegger effect is particularly fond of monosyllabic words and short, trite phrases. So I read all this out, and now I'm coming back to this. A normal weapon in this game does 3 damage. Our tough guy taking Schwarzenegger effect immediately has to roll, when he takes damage, has to roll on this every time, or they die.
Yep.
And here we come to the big ass dumbest fucking problem of the system. And I held back for half an hour to tell you this. Characters die like flies in this game. And
So
it's
fast.
And it's fucking the dumbest thing ever. They made a comedy game about lol, I exploded, the bomb exploded in my face, in which the characters are all gonna die if that happens, because they have no hit points. And they can never have hit points. Because the guy designed to not take damage, just still takes damage, doesn't know that, and dies. And you're not allowed to play like you need healing. This is the worst one of all of them. They start with it. It's so bad.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's so bad.
The rest of these sticks. Yeah, and assuming you min-max, you have 7 hit points. Because your luck is 7, your strength is 7. Even then, it takes 3 hits to basically start rolling on the death saves, so to speak. And every time you keep taking damage, you will roll again. And this game actually has healing in it. Remember Toon, where it was like, yeah, okay, if you get conked out, you just sit out for 2 minutes and then you come back?
Yep.
No, in this game, you make a new character. If you die.
Like, yeah, you have a roster of 20 character sheets that you just keep on hand.
Yeah.
That's what this game encourages.
Yeah. So this was the moment when I read this book where I was like, what? And I went back up to like, what? How many hit points do you get? I remember it very, really low. What do you mean die? And then I looked up in chapter 3 what they do, and it really is that bad. Like, I may not be giving you every detail of the rules, but it is literally like, yeah, no, you're dead very fast. But then, also, so this shtick does nothing. You just don't know your hit points. There's no upside to taking this at all. Like, there is nothing. The -2 to your death save is the only upside. And that's not really a big fucking upside, because you might still just roll a 10 on the first thing and die. But yeah, what's the next one? Rainbow effect. I'm going to paraphrase this now. If you are at short range to someone, they cannot hit you with ranged weapons at all. They will always miss.
That's excellent.
That is excellent. At longer range, you are vulnerable. At medium range, you're also vulnerable. At short range, you cannot be hit. And that's actually fun. Like, I see that as a fun thing, and it's a tangible benefit as well. Unlike, yeah, you don't know that you are dead yet, but you will be soon.
Yep. And the downside is whenever you're close enough to be shot at, they have an 80% chance of just targeting you every time.
Yes. Okay. We also the tank, exactly. Like, if you have with your party, this is a really good thing to take as a party for one person to have, because they can just be like, yeah, run into the house first, and then everyone misses them, and then the party runs in and gets the other guys because they also don't have hit points. Which makes you wonder, is this a cartoon game? No, it's a cartoony game with big violence where people die all the fucking time. It's more like, it's like it's kind of like, I don't know, Archer or something, but not funny.
I feel pain imagining that. Ouch.
Then we have, but now we're getting to some other good ones. Flynn effect is basically anything you could imagine in a classic swashbuckler movie to just be there. Like, there's always a chandelier to swing from, there's always the rope to do that, and there's always like something to be dashing about and stuff. This is just a fun thing.
Yep.
Alpha Bravo 94, thank you for the follow. Hello. Like, this is just a fun thing. This is also not anywhere near as strong as this, but it's for just playing, for being a fun character. This is really good.
I like the drawback of it, where The drawback is you have to always take the most complicated way in then. Oh, well, I got to go through the stained glass window every time.
Yes.
I have bombs on me. I've got to blow up the door and enter that way. You have to do that every time.
Yeah.
Which, that's fun. That really adds to the game.
Yeah. The next one is the Roy Rogers effect, where this picture basically. So
I do like some Roy Rogers.
yeah, you just look, you shoot over your shoulder using your shaving mirror, and then it's gonna go ricochet 8 times, hit the guy with the guy's weapon out of his hand and stuff, and yeah, you are fine. Minor effect, you can't kill anyone. It's always trick shots, and they never die. But this guy, you shoot through the rope, and the guy gets conked out with a sandbag or something, but they don't die. Which is why isn't your whole game like this? Why not?
Yep. And if this was written today, it would have been like Vash the Stampede or something.
Yeah, I guess.
Because you can't kill anybody.
No, Vash the Stampede would be 15 years ago.
What I'm saying is that the people that would have written this, they would have been so dated in their references.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah,
because
because
they're saying
it's
Roy
melting in my
Rogers.
fucking brain.
Next,
Like they would have had another one that would have been like Cowboy Bebop or something, and it would have had nothing to do with it.
oh yeah, for sure. Because this is really old and really weird. Next one, trench coat effect, which is like you can pull anything you can have out of your trench coat if you manage. I think it's like. There's like some rules to it, but you can pull stuff out of your trench coat that you didn't have before, because it's just in there. And the funnest thing about this one is if other people search your trench coat, they also do that. They find random bullshit. Then you have Newton effect, which is also really interesting, in that this is the one effect where it can be like, if you don't understand it, it doesn't work for other people. So if you are like, I don't know, what's an example?
I like the example they give of a caveman looking in an airplane and not understanding how it works, and it just falls out of the sky.
Yes. Yes. Like, this is a very inventive one that can work well. It's an opposed roll against other people, of course, and stuff. It's not like automatic. Merlin effect, I believe, was that you can just know stuff.
Yeah. You just know everything, but then also you get lost in knowing everything as well.
Yeah. So you might be noticing that these are not really made equal.
Oh.
Like Merlin effect sounds really cool, but this is gonna just break adventures.
Yeah.
Like if you make one check, you get what? Oh, the person's name, date, and place of birth, home address, shoe size, mother's maiden name, and what he had for breakfast that morning. So also, assumedly, this means everything.
Yeah.
So you look at the guy and be like, oh, does he want to like betray us? And then you roll, and then they must be like, oh yeah, actually yes. And then the adventure is ruined. I don't know. Seems weird.
No. Now, if this was a real Merlin effect, you go, oh yeah, totally, but you can't tell the other players because it'll be a learning experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which I really like that energy.
I guess. Oh yeah. Haircut says, if someone with the trench coat effect turns it inside out, it just turns into a door to the pocket dimension. Yeah, true. Why not? I would allow that as a DM. So then we have
Don't put the bag of holding in there.
Yeah. Don't put a bag of holding in a bag of holding, though. That's a bad idea. We have the Valentino effect, which is specifically the major effect of this shtick is that members of the opposite sex, unless they pass a hard cool test, throw themselves at the feet of this character. So this is very much written in 1991.
Yeah, very 1991.
Or earlier. So this is like Pepe Le Pew. We get it, but it's
More coffee. This is hurting me.
And then the minor effect, of course, is everybody gets jealous.
Yeah. You know the person at your table who might pick this.
Mm-hmm.
And you do want them to basically not be at your table if they are allowed to pick this. It's going to be insufferable. Like, we have watched gamers. We know what happens.
Yep.
Bylaw effect I found interesting.
It's me. I'm the one who's gonna pick it.
We are all going to pick it, and we are going to be different genders.
Fuck! That would be so good! All Valentino party, that'd be OP.
All Valentino party, just make a big polycule and just vibe. Big.
That beats every adventure.
Yeah. You just need to.
That beats literally every.
If you, for real, if you like have a big party, like 6 people, just make 3 males, 3 females, everyone takes it, and then just, oh, you didn't seduce them, I'll try. And you're always gonna get one. It's a hard cool check. A hard cool. You don't make uncool rolls. I don't know what hard was, but I think it's like it wasn't an 8 something. I forgot. I don't remember how it exactly worked, but yeah, hard cool check is actually not that easy because it's also an attribute roll. Like you have to roll above something with a minus or whatever. Next one, bylaw effect, which is actually many things rolled into one. Which is
you get to be a cop. That's
no, you get to be part of a union. Union rules take precedence over natural laws in this.
That's literally it.
Yeah. Which I do.
Wait, this is like a universal union?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Union bylaws don't allow you to exist on this plane anymore. Cause the destroyer, and then he just goes and disappears.
And they have a specific one you have to pick. So.
Fuck.
Oh, by the way, hard is a D20.
Yeah. So the bartender ancient brotherhood. A member of this union may never die while on a duty a D20? Sorry. My brain took a second.
For hard rolls.
So it's a 25% chance if you have 5 to even make it.
Yeah.
Okay, our master plan to be Valentino clan works perfectly then.
Yeah.
So, but again, a member of this union may never die while on duty tending bar. Similarly, unless the blow causes the bartender to fall unconscious, the blow inflicts no damage. If the bartender is rendered unconscious, however, the blow inflicts full damage. I thought they couldn't die. So, unconscious being
I guess
like,
while they're conscious?
I think unconscious means that you don't always die in this. It's non-lethal damage. So if you get punched, you can fall unconscious. But I guess you can't be shot. It's very unclear. I don't know. You can be a cop. You can be a teamster. You can be a villain. Indignant good guys. You can be a very good guy. Cognition of athletic figures. You can be different unions. They do a specific thing. I'm not going to go through all of them.
Yeah. They're all just ridiculous.
Yeah. Murphy is basically give other people bad luck, I think, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Character can choose to have something go wrong. Yeah. They just do a bad luck thing. Howard's Fine, Howard Effect. Howard Effect. Oh, Howard Fine and Howard Effect. Is this a Stooges reference? I wasn't sure. Like
yes.
I saw this picture. Yeah. Yeah. This is how dated we are getting here, by the way. It's 1991.
Yes. Well, they're referring to Burns and Allen, so you know.
Fuck. Guys. There was a moment that just clicked for me of what this is. This is the Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension, but in a tabletop role-playing game and bad.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, this is all the guys who were in the army and were watching Buckaroo Banzai constantly because they were the guys on desk duty who never went to Vietnam. So they wrote this game.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's so accurate.
Oh, I can zoom in a bit more so people can read this better, actually.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Why are we doing
because it's a cultural touchstone that we never want to touch again.
Yeah. We will.
Why do we have to touch it the first time?
Because it touched us.
Someone has to touch it, Emery. Someone has to touch it. We will only go through these shticks in great detail. After that, I'm also not gonna be that interested. But I want to make clear what this game offers you. And again, we had 20 of these. John Doe effect. you can be like, oh, that's not me, and then people will believe you.
Yep.
Rogers and Hammerstein effect.
It's also the exact opposite. It's not only that's not me, it's also wait, that's you, which I think that's way more interesting.
True.
It's way more interesting, the idea that this person's like, oh my god, Bobby, I've known you since we were 5, and you're like, I'm Tim. It's like, nah, don't stop playing. You've always been playing like this, my guy. Come on.
Now give me the money.
Now give me the $5,000 you owe me for the drug smuggling.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, bro, come on, don't. God, dude, you don't have to be undercover with me. Come on. And then he points a gun at you.
Yeah, I will cut your face off if you don't give me the money.
Yes.
Yeah, Bobby, we've been boys since we were 5, but I'll cut your genitals off.
This one is that's true. This one is also just funny again. Yeah, but it works. Like I can see that one being really funny to play with. Rogers and Hammerstein effect. What was this again? Oh yeah, all right. I remember. I remember. Either you have a narrator telling your story as it happens, or you have music following you around, which plays your theme music the whole time. Also, while you sneak, so you can't really sneak anymore. But everyone fighting you gets a minus because the music is just unnerving them. Which I vibe with this one a lot. This one is fun. It's actually funny.
That one's actually funny.
And I would very much like, if I want to take this, I would just have like my own theme song with me and just play that. And if we are in combat now, okay, different music. That would be hella good. Yeah, this is one of the most original ones in it. I love it.
Oh my fucking god! The dude's like choking you out, and then it's like, oh yeah, but now the Giorno piano starts playing, and the guy's sweating really hard.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's actually amazing. That's so good.
Yep.
That actually should be a stand in JoJo at some point. Just it plays better music if you're winning and stuff. You don't even know why you're winning.
Good. Oh, that's good energy.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah. So Doolittle effect, which is the phrasing. You have to read this out because the phrasing is really bad. So remember, the Valentino effect is when people of the opposite sex fall in love with you. So Doolittle effect. This shtick is similar in many ways to the Valentino effect, except in that instead of affecting members of the opposite sex, it affects animals.
So animals want to fuck you.
Yeah, animals want to fuck you. I mean, they go on explaining that they like you, but they should not have even referred to this. Everyone knows what Dr. Doolittle is, my guys. You don't need to lead it up with a questionable thing, because let's just say, I have known one person who would have been like at the table, be like, I would like to, with the horse, and I would like, dude. And then I would have left, but I know one person, let's just say. And
we all knew that one person.
Yeah. So, you have constantly have elements around you. Who would have thought? They all want to fuck you after all. To take a miracle effect is that low chance bullshit always happens around you.
Yep.
Like you can say like, oh, it would be really convenient if there was like a big trampoline at the bottom of this chasm as I'm falling down it, and then it's there.
I'll never be able to survive unless the blimp from this 1982 obscure film decides to show up right now. Oh, no way!
Yeah, exactly.
I would. This is another one. This is a second Valentino effect. Anybody plays this shit, you can't.
This is inventive, but it could be super exploited, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They have a whole section about, if people overuse these sticks, then you should do XYZ for, let's say for a reason, but also they have that because, kind of, why would you? Because why would you care if someone abuses it? Is this supposed to be a realistic game about people shooting each other? Is this supposed to be comedy? Do you care if it's abused, really, if it's comedy? You shouldn't really care if it's comedy, right? But the game does. So let's.
I can't figure out what the fuck this game is supposed to be, and I really can't wait until we want to talk about the actual design.
Yeah,
and what the intention of this.
We are almost through.
I feel you. It's so close.
weird. Yeah, Escher effect. You can like basically This is pretty cartoony in that you can just walk on the ceiling and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
laws of physics don't apply to you unless you want them to. It's like you are a cartoon character.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have the problem of like, oh, you look down while standing in thin air. Well, now you're falling because
Yeah.
you look down.
It's very Wile E. Coyote. Yeah.
Curry Katsu, thank you for the follow. Hello, I'm Nora. I'm a vampire on the internet, and we are doing tabletop talks. I'm not going to do a whole thing.
Wizard Emery. I'm
Yeah.
the person who's constantly a terrible influence on this show.
You're also
Constantly in pain because of the things I pick.
we keep forcing you to do terrible things with us, so it's kind of like, hey,
That's the worst part, is that I love hanging out with you guys, and I love doing this. Every time I come over here, it's, hey, Em, check this dumb bullshit we found from the fucking 80s.
yes,
And I'm
and
like,
then
oh boy, is it a good system that I'm excited by? No, it's the floating vagabond.
Oh, Omo Rice also, thank you for the follow. Hi, Curry and Omo Rice follow me. I'm hungry now. Yeah, the best part is then we come to your house and you're like, hey, I have made this 3-course meal of good game design for you.
Guys, I finally, after years of searching, I found the PDFs for Elric and Stormbringer. The first edition, we can like totally compare and contrast. It's like, nah, we're gonna do fucking Exalted today. Like, thanks, guys.
No, we're doing a double feature. We're gonna look at Continuum again because I lost the VOD.
Again?
No.
Wait, did you actually lose the
I
VOD?
didn't lose the VOD. If I lost that VOD, I would
Oh,
die.
God.
No, I will never look at that game again. No.
No.
You've gaslit me so hard, I thought that was real.
For the 10th anniversary, we're gonna give you some drugs that like, make you lose your memory, so you can react again like it's the first time.
Are we going to rename this Gaslight Talk now or something?
I don't know.
Close to gaslight talk
Yeah.
already.
So let's continue. We can have a sidekick, so we can have a sidekick, which is like an NPC that runs around with you, isn't as good as you, and you don't have another shtick, so I don't know why you would pick this.
If you roll it in the table, it says pick another shtick in addition to this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but only if you roll it in the table.
Cool. Yeah, you can random roll these, so you can pick like, I'm 7th strength super guy, and then you roll like something that doesn't help you. It's also really dumb.
Yeah, Valentino, and then you're Fabio.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, you get like just this is like a loyal sidekick that will follow you around. Arch enemy, same thing, except they hate you and want to fight you. However, they never quite kill you because it's like always the next episode. It's like this part
like
is
MacGyver.
yeah, this part is like very much in the vein of it's like Batman and the Joker. They never actually kill each other. They hate each other, though they fight constantly, and they're always going to be back. And this one is just a way to have more screen time because the DM is supposed to always put your arch enemy into stuff. So it's just more screen time for you. But at the same time, you don't have.
Awesome. I actually love game design that forces my friends to pay attention to.
Yeah.
More so than them.
Yeah, it's really cool. This is a thing I've said on this show, and I will say again now and here because it's very useful to remind people. Negative things that mean you get more screen time at the table are not negatives really. Many systems do this wrong in their design. I would even say including Shadowrun also gets this wrong, where it's like, oh, you have an enemy? Well, that's 20 points for you, my good man. Raise your strength by 2 if you like, because you have an enemy. It's only gonna mean that you are gonna have an adventure eventually where the enemy shows up and it's all about you. And that's not cool, kind of, for the other players, honestly, because ideally you want this enemy then to be the group's enemy. But what ends up happening sometimes is that everyone at the table is like individually like, I am taking an enemy, and then as the DM you can either give them the same one, or if they design them,
rival party.
Yeah. So basically, it's just
the last time I ran Cyberpunk a couple of years ago before Red came out. everybody in the group decided they had an arch enemy, and it was like, I hate what's going on with you guys right now, because like all of them wanted, this is my session. Like, you know, that energy where it's like, oh, everybody wants their session to be right now, you know? Like,
Oh yeah.
all you get,
Yeah.
where it's like, I want this to be about me. Does my enemy show up? Blah, 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 like this and that. And like the constant, I want to be the main character was such a weird vibe that I was like, all right, guys, either it's going to be an entire team of Shadowrunners, or not Shadowrunners, fuck, an entire team of runners, or we're just going to be like done.
Yeah. Fair enough.
We were just done.
Yeah.
These
Fair.
guys were terrible.
So, but again, also, like, this thing is you have an enemy now who's going to fight you. So there's not really an upside to this, except for the screen time that you get.
Yep.
So why would you pick it, honestly?
To hold your friends captive while you do
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of the word. Homoromantic rival battles.
Fair enough. Okay.
Exactly.
Then you can be like, I would like to not pick. You pick for me, DM. Okay, fine. That should always be an option anyway. Why did you then have to put it in the book? You can determine it during play. If you're not sure to start, you can just be like, oh, I would like this now, because it would be useful. And then there's a few of them where it's like, oh no, you can't overuse our shticks, because it would be OP. And then we are done. And now I ask you people, like, thinking back on this, that's...
If we're not going to overuse them.
Yeah, no, it's another question I'd like to ask, but you're also correct, Emery. Like, which of these do you think... Let's say we want to play a 6-month campaign of this game.
Oh.
For just for the sake of argument, how many of these shticks are going to be fun throughout? Like, let's look at them. Schwarzenegger effect we established is garbage. It's useless. No one would pick it. Rambo effect probably going to be useful. It's not going to be really impactful a lot of the time because you're not always fighting.
Yep.
Flynn effect, I have honestly it's Errol Flynn effect. Yeah. You swing around.
So I'm gonna be real. I think Flynn effect, Roy Rogers. I think trenchcoat effect could be fun.
Yep.
For a significant amount. Bylaw seems weird, but I could see it. But really, the only other two after that I would think would be like John Doe and Hammerstein.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
I
with
think
you.
Asher would be cool. Like that, but those are it. Like that's
Yeah.
it. There's like 6 of them that are actually solid.
Exactly. So
Because there's a couple of these that actually would get worse as the campaign progresses, like Newton effect. Because like your caveman's not going to be dumb forever.
Exactly.
That just doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. I mean, you can probably like finagle ways where you just like keep drinking and forget everything, or I don't know. It seems pretty dark. Like
we'll call that the Disco Elysium effect. Then.
Yeah. Also, another one would be like.
That would be really fun.
Yeah, another one would be John Doe effect, where eventually, if you have a recurring enemy, for example, they are not gonna fall victim to that again. I mean, you can of course be funny, but hey, I'm dressing up in a dress now, and then it's gonna work again.
I'm gonna Bugs Bunny him, huh?
Yeah. But again, a lot of this is not really useful long term. A lot of this isn't gonna stay fun long term. Like doing a Three Stooges routine every game is actually gonna probably get really annoying really quickly. And yeah, probably. Because you're not, I mean, the author of this book failed to be funny. Imagine how much your friends can fail at being funny at the table. Like, no offense to any friends, but you know, not everyone has their best day all the time. And it's just there's gonna be times when it's not landing, and then this game is just not good.
Okay, do you want to go to Hot Take City real quick?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm now done with. This is I wanted to this is the main design of this, and it's
okay. Wait. It applies to this. It applies to what you just said. It is very specifically that joke characters and making kind of an attempt to be constantly funny at the RPG table genuinely drags down the experience.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree completely.
Drags it down. It makes the game worse. And I get that's like a lot of people really just want to hang out and like, oh yeah, we want to hang out and have a beer and pretzels games. But even beer and pretzels games are not about yucking it up and making the joke. It's more about, hey, let's just kill orcs or whatever.
Yeah.
we don't care, you know.
Generally, you are there to have a narrative experience of some kind, because if it's just rolling dice, you might as well play a board game, and
Yeah.
that's probably going to be way more fun for you because there's less to do to get started. No, the narrative in this, if you have like the worst possible thing I can imagine is like 5 people trying to make jokes at the table. Like it's fine to make the occasional joke, 100,000,000%. Like if you have a zinger, shoot that one. If you know that's gonna get everyone laugh, perfect, do it. Like if I may call back to the one time where my character was not gonna admit to falling asleep at the watch in Emery's game.
Funny. But the reason that was funny was not because it was because we had the argument, then some shit happens, and then later Nomad plays into it.
Yes, exactly.
So good.
Exactly. Like me being like, no, I'm not gonna admit it, but the players know it, and I'm gonna bust my balls a little. That was fine. That was a fine bit of roleplay, where it was like, yeah, no, my character isn't gonna admit this, but you kind of know that they did it, so hey, we're gonna have fun. That's character development. But then Nomad 2 hours later is like, no, I went to take a pee. Yes. And then that was the perfect moment, and everyone was like belly laughing, and that's great.
The clip is iconic.
Yes.
I'm never gonna forget that shit.
Yes, but then imagine this the game where everyone constantly tries for that moment super hard because it's supposed to be funny. That's miserable. That is a miserable experience.
Timing is everything. Like there have been so many tabletop games where like I was the only person who was telling jokes and having fun, where everybody else was dour. And I was like, okay, why am I even doing this? Because the reverse also has happened to me too, where everybody's taking it way too seriously.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Imagine somebody taking this game way too seriously. I've been on the receiving end of something like that.
The people who made it really like these guys have big cope energy, where it feels like they tried to make a serious game, and then they were like, no, it's supposed to be funny all along, when they realized that nobody gave a fuck about what they do.
And there's a lot of dark humor just layered in here too.
Like I will give these people that they've tried to make a funny game. Like it was their intention. They didn't do it later, but it failed. Come up at. No, I'm not giving them that they. I was telling them that they failed, but I think they set out to make this game. They didn't set out to make a different game and then made it funnier later. I don't think that happened, because no, I don't think so. I think this was very purposeful and this just failed.
This also has the, hey, I got this idea, let's play test it 10 times, see what you guys think kind of energy too.
Exactly. And this game, mate, we actually have a number of playtesters, so we know it's not many.
Well, I'm saying that like it was the same group repeatedly.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Had, of course. Well, you're not going to get better quality than that.
Oh, okay. So it's 29 named people and a cast of thousands. Well, tens at least.
Let's go, cast of thousands, just like Cinnabar.
No. I mean, they
knew it.
No, they poke fun. Well, tens at least. It's 29 and then tens, so 49. Let's give them 20. Like 50 people ever played this game, probably in one shots. And they probably just rolled with it, and the DMs probably knew what they were doing on a rehearsed kind of game, and it was probably fun, honestly. Why wouldn't it be? If a good DM can make this fun, I don't see a problem with that. It's an easy, quick game to get into. It's just
true.
If you get in the weeds even a little bit, it falls apart instantly.
You could have the funnest playtests ever, but if you don't stick to writing,
my ability to like really judge the merits of role-playing games.
I'm sorry we are breaking your brain, Emery. I'm very sorry.
There's going to be a day where we like bring you a book and it's going to have like the creators filed off on the PDF, and then later we're going to tell you that was a Modiphius game, by the way. You can do, I hated it.
Honestly, a lot of early Modiphius work I really don't like, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
there you go.
Hey, we joke, but so here we
Look,
have.
I can't speak against my corporate masters. All right.
It's fair. I mean, I made one dig at Shadowrun today. It has to be enough. I can only make positive remarks now.
That's true.
Okay,
Very true.
let's get to skills, and this is going to be quick.
Very quick.
Here we see the roles. So
this is the thing I hate the most, by the way. I hate this. I hate the skill descriptions. I hate everything about. I hate the names.
Oh, same.
Like, this shit makes me so angry.
Yeah.
Same. But here we see skill checks. Here we see them now. So if something is pitifully easy, roll D4. If something is easy, roll D6. If something is normal, D10, hard D20, very hard D30, nigh impossible D100. So again, the biggest you can have is a 7 plus 4 is 11 in something.
Yep.
So no one is actually good at anything. Even the strongest, best fighter in the world is not actually good at anything because it's still a 50% fail chance on a hard roll.
Yep.
The only
This is
thing
where it falls apart very quickly.
This small table tells you everything you need to know, because A, some things are just auto successes. That part is good, but B, and there's no way to be actually good in this game at anything, because anything hard is always going to actually be hard.
Yep.
And that's the worst. This is like you are supposed to be Errol Flynn shooting the gun, like ricocheting 50 times. And the only way that works is they give you a fiat power to do it, because this can't be in skills. Because all your skills are basically be normal dude skill level. Always.
Always, yeah.
But yeah, what skills do we have? We have Berserker Rage, blowing things up, dodge, duck, fling primitive missile, gunnery, headbutt, hurt people really badly, shoot things gun, shoot things big gun, shoot things really big gun, swing short nasty pointy thing, swing nasty pointy thing, swing nasty pointy thing with panache, swing long nasty pointy thing, target vomiting, throw, whips and chains.
Wait. Roll that one back. Vomiting?
Target vomiting.
Target vomiting. Yeah. Because there's so much of this game that revolves around getting drunk and throwing up on people.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Yeah. It's just like when they lean into the dark humor in this, I'm just like, don't try to be funny with that.
Yeah. You might have noticed the humor here, or lack thereof, in swing, nasty, pointy thing, and so on. Like, imagine sitting at the table and not being like, attack him with your sword, roll sword, but being like, attack him with your sword, roll, swing, nasty, pointy thing with panache. The fuck?
And even worse, imagine abbreviating it instead.
Yeah.
Do your SNPTWP.
Yeah, please. Yes. This is the moment. Please pee. Please pee. Please pee with your W.
Yes. Yes, pee with a W, please. And then if you really want to confuse people, hey, do an HP roll. What? Yeah, hurt people roll. Oh, right.
Yeah. Like, why gunnery versus it's a comedy game. It's supposed to be a comedy game. Why is there 8 different things that do the exact same fucking thing? Like,
why don't I just attack fucking thing? Do you think anybody gives a shit about what I'm doing when attacking in a comedy game? My God, this is awful.
Exactly. Like, also, why headbutt being its own thing? Why is hurt people? Hurt people is all of this. Just base it on aim if it's at range. Who cares? Like, it's the dumbest. This is the dumbest part. Like, the other stuff is bad design. This is just stupid.
I think all of this is stupid. How many more of these are we gonna do in terms of RPGs that are so god awful that they hurt me physically?
Emery,
I need to file.
There's an unlimited amount of these.
Health insurance in a different fashion.
There's an unlimited amount of these, but my next one is going to be T-Force, so it's going to be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, my next one will be fun. So
Oh no, we're getting too much fun in.
Yeah, we're having too much fun.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what are yeah? So what
What's
are all
this
these?
game?
Like again, there's also like the through line you will now see with all the art going forward is that everyone has a weapon and is fighting,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
which is weird
you
as
see their
fuck.
feet.
You see a lot of feet. Yeah, it's weird as
A lot
fuck
of feet,
to.
a lot of feet in this one.
But that's the positive. That's the point. But the minus point is that you. The absolute disconnect between what they wanted to make, as far as we understand it, and the thing they made is ginormous. Because why would you need so many killing skills? Why does it matter to have?
Why is this game so heavy on combat?
Yeah.
This
Also,
game talks about combat like it's a dungeon crawler.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then next one. Why is this game care particularly that climb is based on strength and nimbleness divided by 2? Like, why would you have this many physical skills alone? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 skills. Like, imagine you have 1,500 points to buy these. So if you want to be a good pickpocket and pick locks at like +3 each, because that's the maximum, you can't buy the +4, that's half your points gone almost already. So you're not going to have many skills. You're just going to be mostly going to suck at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to be
skill math is like the most important thing about a skill-based system.
If you want to be a well-rounded character in this, you need dodge. Like, you need it, because if you get hit once, you're dead. Or duck.
Yep.
I think one of the two you need. I think. Oh no, you need both, because one of them is for melee, one of them is range, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, duck is for ranged.
Okay.
Yep.
So you need duck more than you need dodge, because you cannot duck unless you know how. Because ducking is a skill you really need to learn. I don't know if you realize this, chat, but if you don't know how to duck, you're just standing there and going to get shot at, because if the bullets are flying. But what do? You haven't been trained
And exactly
in this?
wags. Exactly. Chase cars and drive vehicle.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck game?
Exactly. So you need these two. You need one combat skill, because apparently we need to have combat. Probably need 2 combat skills. That's a third of your points gone. Then you buy climb and 1 more, and then you're at 2/3 points gone. And then we get to what's next? What's next? Knowledge skills.
Knowledge.
Abnormal physics.
Yep.
Calculate. Deduce. Fiddle with electronic gadgets. First aid. Human encyclopedia. Invent. Medicine. Mess with dangerous goop. Physics. Psychoanalysis. Dangerous goop.
Yeah. Dangerous scoop.
And psychoanalysis and trivia. Like, mess with dangerous goop is only a skill because there's a DM out there who will put dangerous goop into their game, and someone has to have the skill. Otherwise, you fail the roll. Like, this is so stupid. Also, invent costs 300 points per skill point.
Yeah.
Some of these are so expensive. And you can spend
And if you wanna
900 points on invent to start. Fuck.
And if you want to be like an actual scientist, you need physics and abnormal physics and calculate.
Yeah.
And mess with dangerous goop, because who's not messing with dangerous goop in the science lab?
I would mess with the dangerous goop. I would mess with it, but I wouldn't take the skill, because then cool things might happen.
True.
And then that's all. I think that's all skills. No, wait, social skills. Wait, haha. Belching for effect.
There's social skills in this game.
Con, fast talk, gamble, intimidate, look good at all times, look like stereotype, make wise ass remark is a skill. How the fuck is this a skill? Mix strings, party like a madman, play instrument, raise children to be adults instead of ... Seduce and
Game
sing.
designers.
Yeah, raise children to be instead of game designers. This is a joke skill they put in, but who cares?
Yeah.
Like, you put
Your parents sure didn't raise you to be a game designer, Chief. Don't know why you put that one in there, you
Yeah.
fucking hack. Sorry that you're dead, bro. I am actually really sorry about that. I am sorry that this is what you're known for, because you probably had many different game design credits, and
Yeah.
you're probably a very competent guy. But holy shit,
You
my guy. The Halls of
Yeah.
Valhalla.
You probably worked on Spycraft, you know?
Also, I need to point this out again, Wax. Like we said just now, you don't take the goop skill because then you get what you want, which is a mishap. But if you take the goop skill, you can avoid it, which isn't fun. Also, what I would do personally in this game, if I ever played this, is if someone made me, I would make wise as remark at +3, take cool really high, and then tell the game, okay, I make a wise as remark, roll my dice, and then ask him, what did I say? And I would do that every time he asked me what I'm doing.
The fucking Bart Simpson bill?
Yeah. Except I never have to say anything. I just say, I make a wise as remark DM roll. Oh, I did it. I did it on a normal difficulty. What did I say? What was very wise as in this moment, DM? I took my skill. Like, some of this is defendable. Some of these are skills you might put in. But again, these are so many skills. You will not have 99% of them. And so you will be a fucking idiot for most of the game if the DM actually uses these.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that is the only way these skills make sense to me. Fair, Killian. Very fair. Also, I like that you play instrument is you can just take play instrument 15 times for different instruments, and that's your character. Yeah, now I play the flute.
You know what? Yeah. Okay.
Are you good at it? No, I take nimbleness and smarts at 1. I'm really bad at playing the flute. But now I play the guitar instead. Are you better at that? No.
Nope.
But I have all these instruments if I'm going to play them. Like,
You're a one-man band, but you suck at everything, just like
Yeah.
every one-man band.
yeah. And then you can take magic as a skill, all of a sudden. Which,
Yeah?
the way this works is, you get a pool of magic points, which is your smarts. Wait, how does this work again?
Smarts
of
times your number of levels and cast spells.
Exactly. So you smarts times cast level split. So 7 times 4 is the absolute maximum. 28? Yeah,
Yeah,
28.
And the spells are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like bad ridiculous.
Yeah. And so for each of these, so you can learn a number of spells. I don't know how many, but every time you cast a spell, you have to deduce the number it costs from your daily total. Your daily total, again, maximum 28. The most expensive spell in this book costs 20. Transform. This is the classic Prince into Fox spell. Any normal creature may be turned into any other normal creature via transform. This being retains its original smarts, thus turning a sea slug into a human with an adult, slow, and stupid human person. I think actually way worse. But more importantly, you do this one time, and then you have to lie down because you have 8 points left. As the smartest wizard in the world. Oh, there's more 20 points. Disappear and anthropomorphize. And it's terrible.
Well, the best part is you can use transform, and then immediately afterwards use psychic headbutt 4, the final butt, which the end result is you blow up somebody's head, literally.
Exactly. This spell does the same as psychic headbutt 3. Let's read that one. Psychic headbutt 3. This does the same as this powerful version of the spell. Okay, we have to read Psychic Headbutt 2, I guess. This is more powerful version of Dabbler spell, Psychic Headbutt. Okay, we have to read Psychic Headbutt. By the way, if you don't get what I'm doing here, don't do this. Don't write, read the first one, then read the second, third, and fourth one to know what the fuck is happening. No, just put the description
Put it in.
in.
The same fucking thing, yeah.
Paper isn't this expensive. So what is Psychic Headbutt? In order to perform the spell, and all higher level versions of it, the caster must pantomime a headbutt in the direction of his target. The target must be a sentient being. If the test is successful, the target suffers -1 penalty on all smarts, common sense, and cool attributes for 1d6 rounds, all the while looking thoroughly confused, having a horrible headache. Psychic Headbutt also breaks the target's concentration. This spell should not be confused with its rare a variant psychic butthead. Ha 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 ha, very funny. This is the humor in this book, by the way. This, which we all didn't laugh at. So psychic headbutt 2. Same thing, but you also take 1d6 points of damage. Potentially, you don't need 4. 50% chance to just kill a guy with this. 3. It's a -2 penalty and 1d10 damage. Maximum hit points is again 7. You can never have more. And in addition, the targets must make a normal cool test, so on a d10 was attribute, or fall into a coma until a dramatically appropriate time. Cool. And Psychic Headbutt 4 for 8 points is you... So, a spell does the same as Psychic Headbutt 3 if the target passes a hard cool test. The end result, however, is that his head blows up. I'm not kidding, it's pretty messy. So, what? This is badly written, I don't understand. So if he passes the cool test, he dies? But only if he passes the test, I guess.
Oh no, it does what Psychic Headbutt 3 does if they pass the cool test.
Oh.
If they don't, well,
it's badly written, very badly written.
It's poorly written.
Yes.
Yep.
So I would personally be sure to have this spell on hand and just, oh, is that the bad guy? Okay. Psychic Headbutt 4.
I just headbutt him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a distance. Very normal. Like,
very, very
they
normal.
did not think this through at all, but they still had to, like, imagine being like, yeah, we have to have wizards in our game. Let's make sure they cannot cast spells more than like 3 times a day. Like, you're always going to be a level 2 wizard or 3 wizard in this game, except you have one skill that's really powerful.
Just like AD&D.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, actually. And then we talk about stuff, and I really lost the plot here even more.
We really have. We've really lost it. So, man,
Did you want?
who the fuck is playing this game?
No one. Did you want? Did you want encumbrance rules in your cartoony game about cartoon violence?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because we have them. You can't carry too much shit. And there's mass categories, which is black hole.
You want to know a fun
Planets?
fact about the second printing that I just found out?
Tell me.
Since we're reading the second printing.
Mm-hmm.
So the first printing, oops points you determine by adding your strength and your luck together and then adding 2d6. They completely botched that in this writing for the second printing.
So you are supposed to have extra up to 12. They just didn't put that in here.
Well, it's strength plus luck, not the average of them.
So wait,
So
in the
you
first
could
printing,
have
you had
a lot.
14 up to 28. And here you can have up to 7.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Amazing editing, people. Get a good editor. That's my recommendation to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, even at 28, this is kind of shit, but it's still bad. That's still a lot better.
Yeah, you can at least, take one of the missiles that they list later in the book. Oh, wait, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing about this game. They have, the weapons are ridiculous.
Yeah.
The vehicles are ridiculous. Everything is ridiculous. And you're just the entire time staring at it going, why? Why?
So if you are curious in what category our things fall here, so a whip is a large nasty pointy thing, but an axe is a nasty pointy thing. What? Oh no, L is long. Sorry, L is long.
Yeah. Long, nasty pointy.
Yeah, there's big nasty pointy things later, I think. Is there? Maybe? I don't know. Who cares? Like, they had to abbreviate it because this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And the masses of them is different, but it doesn't matter because they all do 3 damage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering why it's not listed. It's because every weapon does 3 damage, including your fist. It's so stupid.
Yep. So stupid.
Like, there's no reason to have a chainsaw because your fist does the same damage. It's amazing. It's amazing how you do this wrong. Also, all these weapons here also do 3 damage. Unless it says in the text they don't. which I think for a few it does, but
Yeah, it's
What
the weapon section is
what
so
do I
poorly
even
done.
do
yeah.
with this system? That's where I'm like I'm losing the plot because it's like what the
Yeah.
fuck? What?
Because they start out with brass knuckles in this section, and then
Yeah.
just like 2 pages later, oh, orbital railgun.
Yeah, Militech G50 pounder, Big Bertha, Big Sisters goes on a tour. Like, it's 3 train cars pulling a fucking artillery piece. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Is this gonna be in any game we ever play? No, probably not. Hand grenades. They really need blaster pistols and shit. They have to be from Militech, which isn't that just from Shadow from Cyberpunk Militech?
Yeah, it is.
Cool. I'm sure it's legally distinct.
Yeah. It might have even been in the original Neuromancer. I don't even know.
Yeah. Here's your Planet Killer, by the way, Planet Killer platform, which we really also needed in this game.
Mhm. Absolutely needed it.
Like right next to the pistol. And here's damage values. So a weapon, the blasting powder does 3 damage, nitroglycerin does 5, 1 kiloton nuke does 3d100, plastique, which is like a special plastic explosive, does 9, system smasher at anti-matter bomb 100,000, TNT 5, task null dimensional implosive special. I think you're just, that's the one thing you are gone if you get hit. Like 100,000 oops points of damage, that's survivable, but the null point implosive just implodes you into like a black hole. So
Yeah.
you just die. But it costs 100 G.
Why is this in the game?
Because there's fucking idiots.
Yep.
Here's also armor, which will do either everything or nothing. Because either you have war toy battle armor, which looks kind of shit, but here you go, which has 10 armor, meaning it defends you against this, and this, but not against the nuke or the antimatter bomb, and also not against all normal weapons, and you take no damage ever, or you don't have that and you just die anyway.
Yeah.
Just
this is where it just breaks apart and just is a sobbing mess.
Yeah.
It was never together. It was never together.
It was never together. But this is like, this is the section where you see they didn't even care.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Before then, you can be like, yeah, they wrote that, but they at least they tried a little bit. But this section is just like, oh, wait, we have to print when? Monday? Holy crap! It's Sunday night.
Yeah.
We don't have equipment.
How do we do weapons? Wait, what time? What time on Monday? Oh, 4:00? Okay, it doesn't actually have to be in print until Tuesday. Okay. Coffee now. Let's go.
Put some.
And then you just.
Yeah, I need some bourbon in that coffee, please. Yeah.
Get some lead out.
Here's another really important. Yeah. Another really important piece of info is how quick the 57 Chevy goes versus the Acme rocket boots and stuff.
That's actually really important.
Yeah, I guess.
Super important.
The Chevy can outperform the rocket boots at certain periods of time, but usually the rocket boots are a better choice.
No, the only thing is Chevy
I actually
has.
have no fucking goddamn
I
clue.
know. The Chevy has 2 armor.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be 100 with you guys. I haven't even looked at this section of the book.
Good for you.
I took one glance and I went, "Fuck."
Yeah,
this.
good for you. I'm just scrolling through this garbage.
Yeah, it's so garbage. But the reason why I said this is where it's completely falls apart is because before this point, okay, we have a die roll. We have like an expectation, skill attribute, cool, whatever. It's shit, but it's still there. We have shticks. Okay, some of these are shit, but it's still there. But once we get to this point, wait, my electro knuckles do this much damage?
Yeah.
Why am I using a chainsaw? And as soon as you ask that question, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Why do I need stats for a sailboat? Like, who ever needed them? Like, no.
Well, when you go back and you fight the yuppie Nazis of the marina, you need a sailboat so you can get into the sailboat chase.
Yeah, but the sailboat chase is pointless because every sailboat goes the same speed. We will never catch them.
But that's why we have the chase car check,
Yeah. Also to
which
just
works against sailboats.
wait, I have to look up. Wait, so the
No, you need a new chase
Yeah.
sailboat skill.
another thing this does, like if there's a cool thing on here on this list, this item section is going to be like, yeah, this is really cool, but you can't have it because only 2 people have it, and these are the 2 people that have it, and you can't have it.
Yeah.
With several items
the
on this.
NPCs need their cool
Yeah.
items.
Oh, they have
Yeah.
the NPC section later.
Oh yeah. We'll get to it. Don't worry about it.
This is really something else because, again, why? Why put items in your game with stats that are not gonna ever be available? All this does is the same thing as people back in the day on the internet when 3rd edition came out, and they were like, oh, by the way, here's a book with stats for the gods that we have. And then the internet was like, oh, look, Bast only has 500 hit points, we can take her. Like, look at my min-max wizard. I can totally kill her. It's easy. First round, I cast this, and then that neutralizes all her powers, and then I can just stab her a bunch or whatever. And that's the same thing. If you say to them, yeah, but the Warthog Close Escort is only available from like Warlord Thrall, who has it over there in his garage. And we're like, okay, we're going to raid the garage. We're going to steal this bullshit. And I guess that's an adventure, but there's no other reason to put this in. No other reason at all. The art is good, though. Again, the art, I'll give them. The art is pretty okay.
Yeah, art's pretty alright. That is a dick. That ship you just passed.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the most phallic
Yeah.
thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's a 2001
Sorry,
deck, yeah.
I'm looking for something to grasp. This ocean
fair.
of storms.
It's very
And
fair.
it's that
Looking
phallic
for
thing. Yep.
something.
And this broke me. This broke me when today I scrolled through this. Like, imagine being like, yeah, here's your different spaceships. Also, you can buy 50 feet of hemp rope for 5B. Whatever B is, I don't know. I think I never looked at what the fuck the money is actually doing. But it's like so dumb. Like, imagine worrying about this.
Hemp rope. This is the same issue as Cinnabar.
Yeah, this is very Cinnabar in that regard.
Standard, why are you spanking me? We're doing spankies later. That's the disclaimer up top. We're not doing spankies right now, but I will take a blood donation. They could have said fucking biplane, but for some reason they specified the soap.
Damn it. Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did. It's so dumb. But again, this is the exact same bullshit.
Measurable.
Yeah, this broke me this much because this is the exact same bullshit as last time, when we were like, oh yeah, and after we see how to make a spaceship, we scroll down one page and see that leather boots have 1 hit point. It's the same thing. That's with hemp rope. Like,
And really cool shades on that table too.
yeah,
Of course.
like, I get that this might be like, oh yeah,
Same energy as fucking Ready Player One.
yeah. Oh fuck that movie.
Oh yes, you nailed
No,
it.
not the movie. I'm talking about the book. But yeah,
Both. I fucked the book as well.
at least the movie can look cool at like 5 points.
Yeah, if you're drunk, I
God
guess. Yeah,
I was drunk when I watched that film.
I was high. That also worked.
I clapped when they made the Buckaroo Banzai reference, just like I did an hour ago.
Very good. I don't think I still didn't have a good time with that movie, but like, whatever. Yeah, here's lots of booze, which okay, that's fine. Like, the game is supposed to be about drinking in the bar, so yeah, put booze in.
Booze,
and you have intoxicant points, which is its own little mechanic where you can see how drunk you are. Fine.
Wait, guys. I have to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this game about drinking in an extra dimensional bar or going
Yes.
on adventures?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
It's about both.
Yeah.
Drake, would you like to take over at this point?
Yeah. Well, to fully respond to that, this is supposed to be the Callahan's Crosstime Saloon field at this point.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they completely missed it. So, gotta shoot your shot. So, yes, at this point, let's see here. Getting real, they start talking about all the stuff in the floating Vagabond universe, which is absolutely ridiculous. They talk about the laws of nature, and how they're tenuous and they're bent and twisted very easily, that they're chaotic. Great.
A way to bullshit your way through through not having to write anything good.
Exactly. They could have just called it the Calvin Ball universe, but
Yeah.
Um,
Legally
and
distinct.
then they go on about infinite dimensions, there's space, dimensional travel, blah blah blah. You can park your tracked vehicle by tying it to an asteroid, stuff like that. They talk about life, just make it up, whatever, because you have cavemen fighting with spacemen, so whatever. They keep going on about things. They mention government and politics. They talk about bureaucracy. They try to make it silly, but it winds up being way too serious. So it just doesn't really
Yeah.
work. Then they go on about
Nazis.
yeah, and then they throw in Nazis at one point because oh gosh, we need to have a serious antagonist in this. And then they don't do that well either. But yeah, it's just they go into detail about things just enough to make me resent them for going into that amount of detail. Because
that's
yeah.
unique.
Yeah, it's just why, like, you could have detailed the picture that has the lizard man, the monster from the Bugs Bunny cartoon, and then the ostrich dude. You could have detailed these three things, but you decided not to. Instead, we just have a picture of that.
Sunnet is interested in the space Nazis. So, the space Nazis are a terrorist organization set on universal domination. They hope to accomplish the subjugation of every sentient being within a single fascist state, by stopping all personal freedom, they hope to crush the spirit of everything. Space Nazis enjoy throwing their weight around and generally achieve their goals only through a mixture of brute force and wanton cruelty. However, even these depraved sociopaths have their good points. Okay. For instance, they all love the music of Richard Wagner, especially Die Nibelungenlied. So yeah, Nazis are not that bad because of their classical music. Hot take, Mr. Like, if you want a microcosm as to why the writing in this book is terrible, like, firstly, miss the point of what a Nazi is, and then make a bad joke about Nazis right after. Very good.
Thanks for giving me a hot take that my dad would have said seriously.
Hot take, my guy burn in hell. Honestly, fuck you. I was like trying to be chill with you, but like being funny and being like, nah, maybe the Nazis are all right. I hope that you find nothing but like 30,000 cats licking the bottom of your feet in hell. Because you are a fucking disgusting human being.
That's the cat title, though. The cats would be in hell for that. Like, why?
They spend more time talking about alcohol and drinking and temperance than they do about most other things in here. They introduce the concept of a time police, and then eventually they say, where you come in, you're just a patron, and this is the universe setting for your misadventures. That's it.
I love that you just don't matter. I think that's awesome. That's a fantastic vibe. Your players just don't they don't have any stake.
Yeah, they don't. And there's like nothing in here for you to be like, well, I want to hook into this cool idea about like the Birdmen. Maybe I could be like, I don't know, a lawyer that's a Birdman. I could be like an attorney at law Birdman. I'll name him Harvey. There's nothing even for that to be hooked into.
I didn't want to think about Harvey Birdman attorney.
Good
He's like, that would have been a much better game. But no, it doesn't exist. But yeah, the point is, it's just like there's just not enough to hook into, and even then, like what they do provide you is just they're not hooks. It's just like Velcro that's gone bad.
Yeah,
it's just rubbing on your skin and it hurts. But then they go on in the next chapter about the old gods, which whatever. That's a great pull.
What the fuck? Oh god. I handed this over because I couldn't go on reading this, so I was like, Drake, please go on. What the fuck are the old gods?
I could read it out loud. Before the advent of man upon this cosmic crawl space dimension known as the floating vagabond universe, there dwelt gods who cared little for the dictates of the laws of physics or the forces of nature. Well, not quite gods, but definitely forces with which to be reckoned. These gods were divided into 4 distinct factions: the freedom-loving writers who enjoyed playing with reality for their amusement, the manipulative agents who attempted to reap profit from the writers' toils, the cruel editors who twisted the creations of the writers given to them by the agents, and the evil, spiteful critics who resented everything the other gods stood for and attempted to destroy their own
That's
joint
us.
creations.
That's us. That is
Yeah.
us. The 4th people are us. Fuck this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Is this Doug Walker's fucking RPG? Because this sounds like a Nostalgia Critic skit.
Fuck.
It does.
You're
It
right.
does.
Oh no. Oh god, I think I have an aneurysm now. No.
What the chart says.
That's why I presented it the way I did, because it was like, oh, look, the old gods. And everybody just has their image in their mind of like, oh, they put Azathoth in here or something.
Oh,
Cthulhu.
Miss
No.
Yagat, Miss Yagat, it got you out of it. Got you to first time chat. Yes, isn't this something else? Holy crap! Yeah, I have an aneurysm. Yeah, aneurysm. That's pretty good.
Like you've never
Oh
seen
shit!
before.
That's an, wait. I have to write this down. That's an emote. That's me popping a blood vessel. That's an aneurysm.
That's a good one.
I shall not forget another emote idea.
I can't wait until I have my fucking Giga Chad Emery emote so that I can at this point in the conversation post "don't care, did not ask" in our own chat.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I have no more questions about old gods. Let's continue. I hate this.
Yeah, I'm not going to even anymore. Writers writing the universe, stupid.
Yeah. So,
and then everything else in this chapter is just like their GMPCs, like literally.
So they just didn't put this in front, but they put it in anyway, just later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why does this man have such a power stance? I hate him.
Wind up having a Thrycreen professor.
Crazy power stance.
Yeah.
That's the power stance I talk about all the time.
This man
in the Aquaman movie, where he's like standing like he's straddling.
Yes.
I'm giving you this right now. If these are the legs, this man has no ass.
Yeah, no ass.
It's just like a hole in the middle where things fall out sometimes. There's nothing there. Because where would it be?
In his money pit. That's where it is.
Fair.
But yeah, they introduce Donald Trump essentially. And then they go on to, okay, why does this have to do with a grungy little bar and an asteroid? And it was just, shipping lanes. Carpools that go by. That's like, dude, okay, like you're not even really setting us up here. You're not setting us up for anything. What are you even doing? And then they mention,
I have a feeling like this writer would actually kind of be into to good old DJ. I think he'd be one of the Red Hats.
Yeah,
shit, man, this guy sucks.
He probably did. I mean, it was alive long enough to. So, then they have the Crane's Nest, which they say is an interesting part of the universe, but isn't. They say this is another interesting location. No, it's not. Like, they just write, okay, there's another bar here, and it has used car salesmen and space Nazis. Cool, that sounds like a place I'd never go.
Okay, I have to read this out loud. I'm sorry, but I have to.
Go for it.
Just a little bit. Crane's Nest is another interesting location in the Vagabond universe. It is located on the nearby planet Hooch, a world ruled by His Excellency, the Grand Poobah, Hyron the Flatulent.
Yeah.
Humor, everyone. Humor.
Yeah.
This is humor.
Please laugh.
This is what humor is.
Yeah, please laugh. I'm channeling Jeb Bush right now. Please laugh.
Please clap.
I know he was. Yeah. I know he wanted you to clap, but I want you to laugh.
Now I need to do like a Jeb meme where instead of him celebrating in front of like a map that has all the counties filled in for him, it's Tales from the Floating Vagabond behind him with Jeb.
Terrible. Like, imagine writing these 4 lines and then being, this is an interesting place. What the fuck? Okay, anyway. Let's continue to the next chapter.
Okay, wait. Can I actually give some advice? I've been light on
Yes.
actual real design advice and writing advice this session because I've been so fucking out of it with how bad this game is.
So bad.
But legitimately, if you have to say, "Hey, this thing is interesting," it's not interesting. Now,
Mhm.
what you can say is, "I find this interesting." Like, I was talking with Cosmo yesterday, and their character has a lot of hooks into the world history and cosmology of the setting I made. So I just went off for like an hour, and they just listened, and they were like, "Shit, that was actually really cool. That's really interesting stuff." I'm like,
Right.
yeah,
You're
that's why I
telling
wrote it.
you're telling me that Cosmo has stuff with cosmology. That's so weird.
Yeah,
What?
you wouldn't believe it.
Huh.
Yeah, but like, if you
Uh,
write stuff that you're passionate about, people will sit there and
Yeah.
just listen to you talk about it.
Exactly.
forever.
I mean, assuming you
Yep.
can. Assuming you can write a little bit. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I should
So
only do a little bit.
No, and this wasn't a dig at you. It was a dig at these people here.
No, I was thinking it myself. Don't worry about it.
Ah,
That one was on me.
good one. That was
So,
gaslighting me. That was good.
It's the Gaslight World Championships here on Tabletop Talk. We're 1-for-1, tit for tat.
Oh, there's different damages. We were wrong.
Fuck.
But look, yeah, but it's even worse than I thought. It's not 3, it's more. It's even
Yeah,
worse. Oh
it's
god,
even worse.
with that printing error, that's so terrible. No one survives anything.
hmm No one does. But to respond to Killian, yes, I think that's why it's focuses on alcoholism, this game, because playing it makes you want to be an alcoholic.
God, I want to go sober after this game.
I don't know.
Okay, but
I don't know
for
what I
real,
want.
Can we talk about flat damage really quick? Because the system is actually there is a design gripe that has been happening in a lot of
Yeah.
modern games.
Go.
Yeah.
So flat damage as a concept is the concept that all of your damage numbers are normal. You don't have a roll at all.
Mhm.
You can see this in like the FFG Star Wars game where weapons basically do like just damage. You know, like
Mhm.
most melee weapons, if you look at that system, do like 1, 2, or 3 plus brawn, and
Mhm.
that'll usually average out to 4, 5, or 6 with a regular character. And then you get into ranged attacks, which do anywhere from like 6 to 10, but that's actually like 5 to 10, but that's actually 6 to 11 based on, one success equals, extra damage on that. But then you have stuff like Monster of the Week and Powered by the Apocalypse, where weapons do 1, 2, or 3 damage, period. And that's all they do. They just do that level of harm, and that's it. These systems are notable for losing the amount of math that you have to do, but that means players aren't rolling dice, and that means they're not having as much fun as they could be. People like
Yeah.
rolling dice.
Yeah, there's another aspect to this as well. If your weapon always does like the same damage, then what's the point of being a strong guy? So then you have to tie it to hit with that weapon. Weapon has to be strength based, otherwise there's no point in being strong. If it's like a big axe or something.
Yep.
You lose gradiency to that, and you also like if you have 10 hit points and a guy with an axe comes at you, and that does 3 damage. I can just get hit 3 times. It's gonna be fine. That's a different combat than if the axe does a d8 plus 2 or whatever. And you are like, I have 20 hit points. This could be 3 hits, this could be 2 hits, this could be actually a crit, and could be 1 hit if he max damages me. And so I have that's the suspense is way higher if you do variant damage. Yeah.
Things about D&D combat is how well it simulates how things function in terms of like getting into a fight or having a sword fight. Usually you've got about 2 to 4 hits in you. And at low levels, even up to like level 5, that's about how it works. If you get 2 really good clean hits on a guy in like 5th edition, that guy's dead. A 5th level fighter can just hit you twice and do like 15 damage twice and kill you.
You get to a point where like hit points were never supposed to be meat. I say that a lot. At low levels in D&D, at low levels in D&D, they kind of are, but that is not a design goal. That is just coincidence. But yeah, I mean, bottom line, just again, if there has to be a way to increase the damage. Like, it doesn't have to be with a variant roll of the damage. Like, for example, Shadowrun, to be positive there again, because Shadowrun, I have to like set it. If you do like 8 success in Shadowrun, the guy dodges for 1. You're gonna do 6 or 7 more damage than you would have done normally with that weapon. So the weapon is flat, but if you do a really good hit, you do more. It also works. Because then you didn't roll twice for your damage, but you did a really good roll and you get rewarded for that. Meanwhile, in this system, technically, if I stab a dude really well, let's say I roll the 1, which is always hits, with my short, nasty, pointy thing, and roll a 1 on my d6 that did no damage. No damage at all.
No, sorry to interrupt this for a second.
Yeah.
There is a bonus for melee according to strength. That's over on page 80. They, of course, put the table way, way off where it should be.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, then they have 1/2 quarter point, whatever. But my point kind of still stands. Like, imagine.
Yeah, it's still not well done.
Imagine you what's the dumbest one I can see here? Get hit with a gun. You have 3 hit points or 4 hit points, and so it does either 2 damage or it does 7. It's too swingy. Now it's too swingy. Now you just go down too quickly. In this situation, you're supposed to have like 20 hit points. Then it maybe that would be enough. What's your tone? Going back to this game, we don't know what the tone is anymore. Neither do you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, also also these ranges are fuck you with these ranges. Like, point blank, near, close, far, pretty far, real far. Hand me the binoculars, see that dot, and 1 astronomical unit. No one needed to know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different range increments for your weapon. I think it's just how far they can reach. You don't get any bonuses or minuses to that. Also, there comes a point in your system, it's like, don't point it at my planet weapon, like a planet killer. You don't need to know how much damage it does, it just kills the person. It's fine to write that.
Yeah.
Like, why would I, like, if my maximum hit points is supposed to be 28, 10 D100 plus 100, who cares? Oh, you got overkilled by 10,000 times? Thank you, DM. Cool adventure you're running there.
Really quick thing. Delta Green, the Call of Cthulhu, but it's X-Files kind of system.
Yes.
I think also published by Chaosium, has this where you just, if you shoot somebody with an automatic weapon, there's just a threshold that you just die. It's like, did you just roll this? Oh, the person just dies.
Yeah.
Done. Because you're not surviving an automatic burst fire directly to the chest.
Yeah. If it's the kind of game if that's the kind of game you want to play, it works. I would say games that are too deadly lead to players being too no, I should phrase it differently. Lead to games I don't like because you can't really be heroic, because you just have to more or less just surprise people and try to be sneaky all the time, which I do not enjoy.
Yeah, when I'm talking about what I like about that system and why I enjoy it, it's because more often than not you're dealing with monsters and not like people, and only once in a while you're actually going to deal with like another human being with a gun, and I think that works out pretty well.
Oh yeah,
where it's like the one time a guy with an automatic gun rolls up on you, one of your investigators can die. That actually kind of that's interesting to me. That's a huge change to the tone of the game.
Yeah, I do not remember which game it was, which adventure it is, but I remember one Cthulhu adventure, like classic Cthulhu RPG, where a DM ran it and there were cultists and stuff, like what you would expect. And we went in there, and the as written, the cultists just had machine guns or machine pistols or something.
Oh, radical!
And that was the DM was told us that, and was like, I'm not going to run that because I would kill you all immediately. And we're like, yeah, thank you, man. That's very cool of you. Because my fucking psychology professor I'm playing isn't gonna vibe with this machine gun toting cult. Like, I'm gonna leave now.
No, one of the worst experiences I've ever had was running a Call of Cthulhu game, and like, the way that the adventure was written, I don't remember what this adventure was, but it was an older Cthulhu adventure, I think from like 4th edition Call of Cthulhu, maybe,
I don't know.
or maybe like 5th. But anyways, the way it was written was like, oh, there's just a guy who's up on like this ridge with like a hunting rifle. Oh, it's a Castle of Castronegro. That's your way. Yeah,
I might have heard of it. I don't think I played it.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to check it out, go ahead and take a look at Seth Skorkowski's video on that adventure. It's really good. But basically, there's a guy in the hills of this small town of Castronegro, which is basically like Innsmouth, but in like New Mexico or Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like a guy with a hunting rifle. He's firing into the town to scare the PCs. However, they actually don't tell you in that it's like it's supposed to be warning shots. So I just rolled, and I think I got like an impaling strike, and it just shot one of the investigators in town and just like fucking shot him in the throat. And
Holy crap!
That was probably a bad call. I was also like, I think like 20, 21. I wasn't the best GM I could have been, but like it was really weird. Like that type of lethality sucks in adventures, just to be real. So back to this shit where you're rolling like 100 dice. Fuck that.
Yeah, let me just read out Betswoops did an effort post. We had such an awful system in SWRP on Second Life. Players had like 3 to 8 hit points depending on rank, class and perks, and attacks did 1 to 4 damage depending on class. When attack generally it was like a 1/3 to 1/4 chance to even get a hit in, which meant it was a very tactical and far too much luck based. Yeah, I get that. You have to talk them into raising HP damage by 10, making it easier to hit. Yeah. That sounds. Yeah, it's very very easy to do this right, but many people get this math wrong. Like you want fights to not be over immediately, but you don't want them to drag out either. This game, even with the errata of it's supposed to be like 2d6 extra and it's not supposed to be divided by something, it's supposed to be added together. This game is way too swingy with its damage, because again, like this is like playing a second level character in D&D and getting in fights. Where,
but you're getting into fights with shit that's like CR20.
Yeah, no. I mean, even if the DM is smart and just puts it. Similar stuff at you, like there's gonna come a time where 2 dudes with guns shooting at you are gonna do 14 damage to you, and then you're gonna fall down immediately and be out and maybe dead. And that is a thing in D&D at low level where it's like an accomplishment to survive to level 5 or whatever, because then you have like a nice pool of hit points that maybe not every rando can just drop you like a stone. But in this game you're never getting more hit points except 1 or 2 over time if you raise your attributes a little bit. So you are never going to be out of that range. You're always going to be in danger of dying immediately in a fight. If like two, 3 people will target you, like if your Rambo character isn't there to be targeted and make the fight stupid. Which, by the way,
you run into close range and now they can't target your allies at all, and they can't hit you.
Yeah,
right.
It is also like. The fact that it's needed, now that we see this, I see why that power is needed, why it's very good. I also think you're not having fun playing like that, honestly.
Oh, no.
I don't think anyone's having fun with the system.
Yeah.
No.
This is another thing like with Cinnabar, where I feel like it wasn't actually playtesters. I feel like this guy and his fucking mental hallucinations actually playtested this game.
Well, I think he had like people, but they were like telling him it was good.
Yeah. Are those people in the room with us right now, sir?
Whatever. Oh, you have drowning there. This. Look at this.
It's okay. Is Steven with us here, Mark?
Can
I speak to Steven?
Emery, I'm sorry. I have to derail this right now. This bit.
Okay, go ahead.
And I have to tell you that there's a drowning damage table.
I did read that, yes. I did actually read that there was a drowning table.
Imagine putting the water, mud, oil, Trask confectionate tech chocolate fudge, quicksand, Trask model glue, it's 10 different things you can drown in. Molten gold. Why wouldn't you have lava in here, my guy?
Yeah.
If you fall in strong acid, drowning isn't your problem.
Mhm.
Like, believe me, drowning is not your problem. You just you're just instantly dead.
Speaking as somebody who has drowned in acid, Nura, I think you would know.
I have not run acid. No, I know my chemistry. Like, if you throw someone in an actual vat of like high grade sulfuric acid, they might get out of there for a second, but they're dead.
Yep.
Okay, but what if they don't? What if they're in there long enough to drown? Nura?
Then they become a Batman villain.
That does not. I can tell you for sure they are dead before they drown. They're gone before they drown, basically. Like goop. That's there you play with goop. That's what that skill's for, because the person's going to be goop. Yeah.
But what if they drown in there though?
Well, then they shouldn't have held their breath for minutes before falling into the vat. It's not my fault.
Why do you refuse to play in this space? Why have you played in every other space, but drowning in acid is where you stop?
Because I studied chemistry for a bit. I know how bad it is. Anyway, would you also like to know about high-speed collisions?
Yeah, why not?
And
how are those handled?
They're very deadly. Like, you do math. You do actual math. Like, if you do like some text equation problem where the cars are driving at different speeds and hitting the guy.
They even have the math problem of two cars traveling along a dusty road. The first moving at 40 miles per hour, and the second is moving at 80.
Yeah.
And the second one rhymes with the first. Yeah. Like,
I think Trick just died.
Yeah, did Drake just disappear?
Drake just did like in Tyler 1. Are you still there?
I love how Scream Disappear is now doing a Tyler 1. I really love that's the influence I've had on my friends.
I mean, what I'm referring to is like that scream, because Drake was like, and then the sound cut out for me.
Weird, yeah.
Okay, I think Drake has internet problems because there's no answer. Well, but
that's classic tabletop talk. Everybody, mark that on the bingo card.
Can't wait for that better internet. Oh, here's the range modifier table.
Guys, actually, for the 1-year anniversary, I know we've talked about this before. I was thinking about this in the shower before we jumped in on call, and I had my coffee. Like, we've talked about the 5e supplement stream, like a big like a charity stream for that, and review a whole bunch of like homebrew supplements and third-party stuff. What if we did a bingo card for it?
Oh yeah, that sounds perfect. I love it.
And one of them is straight cuts out. Takes internet goes bad.
We could do that, but I mean, yeah, it would be on there. We have a bunch of them. We could make that for sure. We just have like 10 minutes in a voice chat together. We can make that bingo card.
Yeah, true. We can't put Emery Schill's Modiphius in there though, because there's going to be
in the middle.
That's in the middle. That's the middle space.
Yeah.
No, that can't.
That's a free space.
Yeah. Welcome back, by the way. I don't know what happened, but was your mic out or was the internet out?
Internet this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I scroll down a little, and here is ranged attack tables, which if you look at these minuses again, your maximum skill you can ever have is 11. You're never hitting anyone anywhere, because if both target and shooter are moving, it's -8. What is it called? What does called shot with? Do you have rules for called shot? Is it going to do more damage? I guess it's just to disarm someone? Question mark.
Can we have a really hot, like a quick hot take on called shots? Because I have a love-hate relationship with them. I think every GM does.
Yeah, please go. I agree.
I love the concept of the called shot, but I don't think it's ever been implemented in a way that doesn't make the player immediately try to go for a headshot or shoot the guy in the nuts. That's the only. It's both type of headshot. It's the only thing that ever happens.
I think Roy Rogers just gets called shot for free. That's the thing that you get. I think this is why Roy Rogers goes higher in quality again, because you don't have to engage with this table. You just hit stuff. You can't kill, but who cares? You disarm everyone, which is going to be the go-to since you can't hit neither the nuts nor the throat or head. So you are going to hit the weapons all the time. Yeah. My thing about called shots is the more realistic the system, the worse they are.
Yeah.
And there's also a thing of it forces the DM to play stupid. Because if the DM played smart, the player characters would die far too fast.
Yeah, guess what? That Caster Negro Hill Sniper,
Mm-hmm.
that was used, we used cold shot dice at that time, and we would just roll it along with our attack.
Mm-hmm.
And that was throat.
Yeah.
Which is why the guy got shot in the throat with a fucking 30-06 hunting rifle from like a hilltop.
Mm-hmm.
So 300 meters away, and the investigator died choking on their own blood.
Yeah, that's not a good time, but I see. Oh,
he's bad time. Really bad time.
So you can have up to +4 bonus damage from melee attacks. Cool.
Called shot dice were really good. I want to get the company that made them.
Was it like a chance to what you hit? Like more like that, or?
No. So the called shot dice that we were using were for use with that edition of Cthulhu, and I think they're also for use with the other one, the newest one.
I never saw these dice in my life, so I don't know what that is.
They're not done by Chaosium, but they are like sponsored by Chaosium. I have to go find them. But they're really solid. But yeah, you just roll them along with your attack roll. I've used them with Cyberpunk as well.
So what does
automatically determines like hand all the way up to shoulder, torso, neck and face.
So it's not so much called shot as it hit you in that area because I wrote that.
Just that hit. Yeah, it's less called shot.
Area
more of a hit location.
I get it.
A hit location die. That's it.
Okay.
And I think those are pretty okay, but that's what happens.
Yeah, I found some really cool looking ones. Huh.
They might be the ones that I used.
There's some that just have like part of the target lit up.
Oh.
Yeah.
On the face.
That's the idea.
Okay. And that can be useful especially for just describing, even if you're not going.
That is a Q Workshop was the ones that I was using at the time.
You can have they can not even if necessarily to describe an effect, but to be like, you strike him in the arm. Does it do extra stuff? No, it's just flavor. For that, it can even be useful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And now keeping the baloney rolling, which is the DM section. And the first joke of this DM section is here. A party of adventurers about to receive their just rewards after surprising the bartender. So, a joke about killing your players in real life for derailing your adventure.
Yeah.
Very, very good joke. Again, very humor in this game. Much humor, very laugh, yeah.
Yep. Very 1991, if I may.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And
here's a rabbit that we've found on the internet. It seems to have some sort of confectionery sitting on top of its head.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, this is the dice Emery referring to. I like this. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really solid.
Yeah.
The Q Workshop dice are really good.
I mean, I hope they're dice.
So the ones that I had it almost looked like the Vitruvian Man kind of vibe, marked with the locations just in red.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, it works even better. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know where they are, but they're somewhere. I haven't run Cthulhu in a really long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see the use of this.
Second one that I linked, that is the official Modifius D20 hit location.
Cool.
Wow, so that one's automatically better, right? Modifius official.
Automatic +1, yeah, for sure. Well, actually, I would say that joke was never good. Like, this joke wasn't good in 1991 either. Like, there was no time in which this joke was good.
No. Never was.
But yeah, it also did not age well, yeah. And here's XP.
Even back then, we were still talking about antisocial or anti-player DMs, and it was always a negative thing. It was never good.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has ever enjoyed having a GM who didn't like them or wanted to hurt or maim their characters for no good reason. Nobody's ever enjoyed that.
Yeah.
The person who made that joke is an antisocial piece of shit.
Track to XP work exactly the same as starting points to buy things?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what it is. Yep. And the reason why they put in all those weapons that are just like, oh my goodness, this destroys the planet or whatever. You can get 1,000 XP for destroying the universe. Literally, that's at the table. And it's just like they included it as a quote unquote joke, but they included all those weapons for destroying the universe anyway. So, yeah.
What do I
So
gain? How do I spend that XP if the universe is destroyed?
you go to another one.
Yep.
Oh, true.
Yep.
Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute. Okay, now it's all coming together. Now I'm
Yeah,
with you.
because
Now
this
I'm
is
with you.
Doctor Strange too. I mean, no, it's not.
I need to watch that movie. I like Sam Raimi's films.
I have also not seen it yet. Yeah, so let's look at these things. So, penalty for poor role playing: deduct for every time the bartender must pull the patron's fat from the fire, -10.
I take your XP away for plot convenience.
For poor role playing.
Oh, that's wonderful. That will not go poorly at all.
Yeah, I mean, as we know, nerds at the table who would actually want to play this game, and I include myself in nerd, are totally gonna have the social intelligence combined to really not take this personally. If they're, no, that sucked, this role playing was, dude, like, get better, here's -20. No one's gonna be offended.
Wow, that gives me some Vampire the Masquerade LARP flashbacks. So your
Yes.
roleplay was poor, where we are deducting 2 of the points that you have not spent.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
a bonus for each sawbuck, which is money, retained at the end of the adventure. So retained as compared to, I guess, the start, who knows? A bonus for decent role playing, also a good idea that has no results whatsoever, is 5 points. And then we have lots of 10s. Bonus for good role playing, also a good idea that helps to accomplish the overall goal, 10. Bonus for excellent role playing, an excellent idea that nearly accomplishes the overall goal and in and of itself. For good role playing, making everyone, including the bartender, laugh to the exclusion of all else. Forgetting and subsequently losing a special item, for example, a transfer, 20. What? Oh, because you always lose special items. Yeah, that's the thing in this game, by the way. If you get a cool thing, it has to be gone by the end of the game so we can have another adventure. Because if you had the cool thing, it would be too easy next time. Bonus for role-playing beyond the Call of Duty, making everyone laugh frequently through good role-playing. For retaining a special item at the end of it. Okay, so I guess you can also retain them. 30 is 10 more. Award for an easy adventure, 50 to 100. Award for a tough adventure, 100 to 200. Award for a very tough adventure, 200 to 300. Award for an adventure that's actually a threat to the very fabric of reality due to its sheer difficulty, 300 to 500. What? Okay.
That's a great sound. That's a great sound.
The best thing the best thing I can say about this is at these values, at least you're gonna have to be able to raise a skill by 1 every time you do an adventure. Because that's good, because you're not gonna have enough skills to do what you make a character. Actually, it's actually interesting.
Exactly. Like, you're going to fail so many times in this system before you actually complete anything. So. And it just says award for an adventure. It doesn't say award for successful completion of an adventure.
Yep. By the way, in this example of play here, which we're not going to read out, but I found it funny. Like, it's 2 pages long, well, 1.5 pages to be like more flair. 2 people just get knocked out and never do anything. It's fucking dumb. Like, even in their example thing, it happens that, like, of half the players just go unconscious and can't contribute a fucking thing to the game in 1 hit.
Wow.
Like,
even in their own example, they know that
which leads me to believe the thing they did up top where you have no hit points anymore is actually intentional. Because if it was a misprint, they couldn't knock them out in 1 hit. And then we are at interesting people and things.
The best part at the end of that section, for example, of play, is the DM telling a player, no, you can't use first aid on them. They're Ascension slime mold. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
It's incredible. It's really
Incredible.
incredible.
It's terrific.
Yeah. Also, they just gun down people in this thing as well. By the way, so it's like, where's the fun here? Where's the whimsy? No, I'm just using my 38 police special to gun that guy down. Yeah, it's 7 damage. He's down. Okay.
I just shoot the guy.
Seems to be a really light-hearted game you're running here.
Yeah.
You came for Toon and you got like the most gritty shit in the world.
It's not. No, the thing is, it's not gritty. It fails at that as well. But it. Like imagine you're playing like normal D&D, but it has guns. First level D&D, it has guns, and then there's a guy with a dog there, and then everyone shoots each other and they all die. But one person has a cool trench coat. That's basically level 1 D&D.
Right down to the cool trench coat. Hey, look, this is the heirloom I got for my background. The cool trench coat.
Then
I'm gonna be real. That did actually happen yesterday, though.
And then
wait, no, that's not yesterday. That's 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's true. Shit. It's true. But hey, that's what I mean. Like, why? There's no point to any of it. Then we have. Okay, but I just want to get through this now. Here's your the NPCs. Bunch of the NPCs, good guys, bad guys. At least one Nazi I've seen. Bureaucrats. There's a bunch of stats for monsters, which fair enough.
Yep.
We still have, I think, 0 women who are not in bikinis.
The elf in the moody blue shirt. That is one.
Yep. And the lady in the lab coat.
Oh, there was a lady in the lab coat there? Okay, there was one. Okay. The elf was a male, I think. But
I don't know. Those were some bouncing titties.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Okay, there maybe two.
Then again,
rockin' booblers.
Again, that is me.
I will give you the point because I can't be bothered to scroll all the way back up. So
winning through apathy.
Yep.
Yes.
So yeah, they include lots of sample stats, you know, security, whatever, space marines, cops, bureaucrats, former warp scientists, Acme Renathugs. Literally an entry that's bikini girls with machine guns. Yeah, they do what you'd expect of, here's a bunch of sample stats for all these things with some sample text that nobody gives a shit about.
Yes. And now would you like to know how you get into this? Hi, Azure. Into this bar at all. So
yeah, I'd like to know.
Yes, chapter 10. Excedrin headache 186,000. Read the following aloud to the geeks, gamers across the table from you. Again, very humor, much fun. Okay. So, due to a quirk of physics, all of you pass through the doors of your local pub at the exact same moment and materialize at the same time in front of a revolving door of the floating Vagabond. A well-known fact of physics is that no two objects can occupy the same space at the same time, a fact carefully sidestepped by those charming men who pack passengers into the Tokyo subway station. The subway system. The portal generator at the floating Vagabond is nevertheless aware of this fact and neatly disposes of the problem by shifting your arrivals by several nanoseconds. The resultant heat and displacement of air has a distressing effect on you, especially since you're naked. You see 3 familiar signs on 3 doors across the bar. One is marked male, another is marked female, and the third is marked question mark. All 3 doors lead to the same room. And now I have to continue reading because we are not done with the cringe.
Yes, continue reading.
This is DM information. This is not what we read to the players anymore. Seeing the familiar signs, the patrons undoubtedly scurry into the loo, bracket, a funny British word for toilet, bracket close. The bathroom at the floating Vagabond has facilities for all races. These include stalls for varying sizes for humanoid races, a fire hydrant for doggy races, and a large sandbox with a shovel attached by a large chain for the cat races. Dispensers hang on the wall for all kinds of interesting objects. Some are recognizable, some are not. Recognizable dispensaries offer souvenirs for the floating vagabond, bedroom slippers, fuzzy bunny models, gamer-sized bath towels, i.e. large and extra large, paper overalls, a sign on the machines reads out of order, ammunition, headache cures, Dr. Ralph's Universal Purgative. And then we continue with this garbage. But next page is fine. We're in the red tape square now, where we left already. And we get the adventure now. You just get yeeted to the vagabond to then leave again to go on your adventure, which we're not going to read because it's terrible.
It's so bad.
But here's a bunch of maps which is really important for my shuttle where the monorail terminal is for my comedy game. And then we have the afterwards, which I'm not going to read, but maybe one of you wants to.
Trake, please.
So this is the words of the man himself, Lee Garvin. Oh, what a long, strange trip it's been. For those of you who are either too young to recognize it or too unhip to care, that is from an old Grateful Dead song. But apart from its nostalgic significance, it pretty much sums up my feelings about the game you're holding. Unless you have it laid out on a table or someone else is holding it for you, or never mind. Let's turn back the clock. Fun. Yeah, this guy's hilarious. Let's turn back the clock. Oh, say 10 years. My little brother was a budding artist with delusions of sanity, and I was, well, me. Out of the diseased recesses of our brains, we came up with this place, a special place, a very bent and demented place. Wow, great childhood. Since then, Tales from the Floating Vagabond have gone through several incarnations, only 2 of which have found their way to the public eye. First, it was planned as a self-published comic book. It never happened. Then someone suggested that I make it into a role-playing game. It never happened. Then somebody wanted to do it as a small press comic book. It never happened. Then one night in Omaha, Nebraska, in all places, I found myself hovering 2 inches above the floor in a drunken stupor, as often was in those days, and someone said, "Hey, Lee, let's play something." "What?" I replied, brushing the duck off my shoulder. "I don't know, make something up." So I did. This is it. The other incarnation to meet the public was a live-action role-playing version run by the Columbia Interactive Theater Association every year.
It
Soon,
literally
maybe.
could have been Vampire.
Yep, it literally could. This could have been the LARP. This could have been it. It could, like, White Wolf may have not gotten the loan that it needed to open its first office, and then this could have been the LARP that took over everything for the next 30 years. This could have been.
We would not have tabletop role-playing games anymore. They would have been over.
Yeah, they would have been over forever.
We wouldn't have this show.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be real.
We would all be bureaucrats and accountants.
No, we would still have this show, but it would be called LARP Talk.
It would be called the TPS Reports 2022 report, because we would all be
Actually, I kind of like that alternate universe where it's like we're all just like office workers and we're talking about what happened yesterday.
Azure, it's Tales from the Floating Vagabond, and it's garbage, trash. We can't hate it I cannot hate it as much as other things we've done, but I do hate it. Like,
yeah, really, nothing can top Cinnabar for me in just like personal hate.
Yeah.
But this guy's pretty bad. But he's bad in a way that it's like edgy emo kids were on Tumblr like 10 years ago, where it's like, I'm so twisted. It's like, no, you're from fucking Omaha, Nebraska, Kevin.
Yeah. He's called Lee, but he was named Kevin, and he changed it.
That's probably what everybody called him.
I'm talking to Kevin. Kevin knows who he is.
Like, again, just if you're right, and if you feel the terrible need to include lots of jokes in brackets in your text, don't.
Yeah.
It is never good. It is never gonna be good. No.
Never.
Especially this stuff. It never happened. And it's no.
Yeah.
Don't.
It's painful.
Part about this, and okay, so this is gonna be personal thing. As somebody who's published a bunch of shit, if something isn't happening, you don't keep doing it. That's it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a volatile market, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like if you have to rely on publishers or even self-publishing, what's stopping you from self-publishing a comic book? That's where it's like I would get it if he was like, oh, we never published a comic book because nobody would pick it up from us. Like that, I get. But wait,
Mm-hmm.
why did the self-publishing never happen? Your brother's an artist. Wait, why
Yeah.
didn't the two of you work together on this project? Why did
Yep.
nothing ever happen? It just did the two of you just keep getting drunk and high and never finish it? Like that's really what it sounds like.
That's
The
literally
only-
what it sounds like.
Yeah, the only thing this relay is, I can't believe that this was created by a drunk person in one night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Like,
definitely makes sense.
then all these terrible ideas in here make sense in that why they are terrible and why they don't work and why they should never have been done.
Mhm. Yep. It's like, you know, with
Design drunk kids.
the creator of Cinnabar, he literally scammed people, screwed people over, you know, the whole 9 yards of everything you shouldn't do as a running a business, etc. He did all of those things. Whereas this guy, he just was a sad drunk.
He
So,
was just,
you know,
he was
Yeah.
just kind of a loser, and that
You know what I
Yeah.
did when I was really drunk and people were like, "Hey, we can't sleep, let's do D&D." I made everyone play a goblin and they just tried to set a house on fire and it didn't work because they were all terrible at it. And
The last time somebody was like, "Hey Emery, we're all fucking smashed. Who's the most sober? Who can run a game?" I said, "Fuck it. Let's just do some 3rd edition. But here's the gimmick: we're gonna make it the most cracked 3rd edition. For example, your jump skill. That's how many increments by 5 feet you can jump. Fuck, if you have
Yeah.
jump skill of 5, you jump 25 feet in the air."
yeah.
That
You
was
can-
one of the most successful games I've ever run.
You can make it dumb. Like my thing was like, yeah, you're all goblins, and you're basically like, oh, you're in a forest. What could be in the forest? I guess there's a guy there making like charcoal in a little
Oh, yeah.
hut, and then they were like, can we get him? At least very tall. Do you really want to attack this guy?
Can we get him? That is so threatening.
And then it evolved into, okay, can we make fire? Well, you are goblins. You're not very smart, but roll something. Yeah. No, you can't make fire. You rolled like a 12. It's too much. Okay, can we get the piles of smoking? Can we get coal from there? Can we use that? And then they just kept failing at trying to set this house on fire in different ways.
That's amazing.
And it was really
love
funny because we were all like funny drunk and couldn't sleep. And then 2 hours later, we were all fast asleep. And then that evolved into a 6-month campaign.
Wow.
great.
It's a bunch
love it.
with a bunch of goblins with one gnoll between them who joined later and was like, I would like to be the dumbest gnoll you've ever seen. I was like, okay, how dumb? Dumber than a horse. Okay, so 1 intelligence. Yes, give it to me. They could only say his name and could just point him at a thing and he would attack it. That was their problem-solving thing. And it worked really well because this guy was
It does
literally.
seem like a thing goblins would have.
Yes, exactly. You always have the one big guy they can like tell what to do because while they might not be good at anything, they're at least smart. Okay,
Goblins.
then Robin.
great.
Do we care about Robin Jenkins had to say? I don't think we do,
No,
right?
they
You
went
know
to
what? I
Quebec, so
will.
I immediately
I'll
don't
go.
care.
I'll go. How about I do this one?
Oh, sure.
Let me get to it on my screen here. If my PDF will load correctly.
It's on
I hope it loads
page 107 by PDF
I
pages.
saw it. I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going. I'm almost there. Oh, PDF 107. I was on page
Yeah.
107. Okay, don't worry. I'm getting there. Okay. It was about 6 months ago, while on vacation in Quebec, that I walked out. I walked into a little out of the way tavern in a one-dog town with a name like, can I say, one of those French names that sounds nothing like it looks in print. You're a fucking dick. You're a fucking dick.
It didn't take long.
God, you fucking dick. Wow. Imagine being able to out xenophobia Quebec.
That's hard. That is
Wow.
genuinely hard.
Wow. Well, the bar was drunk and smelled like a neglected. Well, yeah, wow. Okay, you're just a douche. I'm just. You're going by. I'm just gonna skip this fucking shit. Being in Quebec, you'd expect French people to be really silly and bad, huh? Fuck this guy.
I will read this out loud because I think we can stop here.
I'm losing my goddamn
So-
mind.
Well, the bar was dark and smelled like a neglected sock basket, a bracket, or your average gamer, bracket close. But I didn't care much at the time. Most gamers, bars, smell that way. It took a little while to recognize things weren't what they seemed. So if you must make the same joke in the same way twice in one sentence, maybe stop.
Yeah.
And I think we are done. I'm not going to be willing to read more of this.
These guys fucking suck.
Well,
Later on, they shill a whole bunch of.
Noodles, thank you for the raid. Hi.
They shill. Okay.
Somehow it only shows the.
Let's look. Hold on. Wait. The
Fish
past
raid,
6
yay.
months has seen the release of 3 hilarious modules. Really, they're hilarious, huh? Bar Wars, The Reich Stuff, and Adventure with No Name.
Bar Wars.
6 months later, HyperCAD 54. Where are you? Weirder Tales from the Floating Vagabond. A Space Opera.
No, that's the.
The Cosmic Paternity Suit.
I'm going to be rethinking
Emily,
life
1
for a
second,
while.
Please. We have a
sorry.
Twitch clip playing.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
fine.
I'm losing my damn mind.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. No, I don't want to go to Snowden. No, I do not want to go. Oh, freaking hell! At least this gives me. At least this gives me time to apologize.
I would like to
I
say,
am really
hi,
sorry
Thank you
that
so
I
much
have
for the
said.
raid. Hi, Raiders. I'm Nora. I'm a vampire on the internet. We do tabletop talk, which we talk about terrible games most of the time. And today is certainly no exception. This is Tales from the Floating Vagabond. And I'm watching a random clip. If you don't like your old clips, you have to clean them out. It's just a random one. I can't really. Kenjiro, thank you for the follow. Hi. I just did my intro, so I think you were there for it. Yeah, we're just about to wrap up this tabletop talk, and we're probably going to talk about bullshit next. Yeah, don't play this. I mean,
sucks.
I don't have to tell you to not play this game because you can't possibly want to.
Not only don't play this game, but like, wow, this is a failure in an incredible way. I've never seen something fail like this.
You have, because last time we did Cinnabar.
That's true.
I'm sorry to tell you, but the hyperbole has to be toned down because we did Cinnabar and Continuum on this show. It cannot be. It can only be the third worst game you've ever played or read.
Okay, I think this is worse than Continuum in a very specific fashion.
No, it isn't. We have to do another episode on Continuum Memory.
No, never will. No, never will. Never will. It's gonna continue to fade into the recesses. Don't care. Didn't ask.
This is failure by drunk. Cinnabar was failure by scam. So that's why Cinnabar is
Continuum was failure by fragging.
Continuum was failure by being up your own ass so hard you can look out of your own mouth. But
that's incredible.
Yeah, you're very bendy at that point.
Yeah, but enough about Mr. Fantastic.
I believe. I mean, yeah, if you have a new model and stuff, that's. I will check you out later. I'm interested because I like the simple art of that PNG already, so I'm curious. But yeah. Yeah, again, this game has the biggest whiplash we've ever seen. Yeah. This game does not know what it wants to be at all. Not in a little bit. That's its biggest failure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, taking something out of here on its own is not usually that terrible. But if you combine any two things that are in here, they instantly turn to shit. And that is really interesting to me. Not in a good way, but it's really interesting to me because this feels like a drunk person wrote it, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they don't remember what they just wrote, so they're just gonna write something that kind of works because I know, I just find what skills are. I'm sure -8 isn't so bad to hit something. If what's the maximum? I've forgotten. Who cares? Never mind that now no one can hit anyone in a fight, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, awesome.
Noodles, thank you.
Fucking what a garbage game. What a garbage game. Trey, you lied to me. You lied to me. You said this was going to be funny and a fun one. You said this wasn't going to be bad last time. You fucking lied to us.
Trey did pull a fast one.
I did.
Yeah,
because this game, no matter how hard you try, like at the very beginning, I remember seeing this advertised in Dragon Magazine back in the day. Huh, I never really cracked it open before. Avalon Hill is a good company. Hey, this might be good.
Yeah.
No.
I forgot this was published by Avalon Hill. How?
Yeah.
How was it published by Avalon?
This guy sold his soul for that.
He really did.
1991. That's my answer to it, honestly. Because 1991 was when everybody was like, we need to get this out. We need to experiment. We need to try things.
Yeah, well,
And that's why Vampire happened.
Well, yeah, Vampire came from a very unique place. It's a place I don't like personally. Like I don't like the inception of Vampire. I like Vampire itself.
Yeah.
The idea behind Vampire was like, well, fuck all this old combat shit. How about we make a game exclusively about role playing in this role playing game? And that led to a lot of people like me being like, well, I don't really want to play that then. Like, okay, so for example, right? Okay, so when I was working in Milwaukee, this is going to be a great anybody who LARPs in that very specific area is going to know this scenario. That's the best part. So yeah, I'm going to dox myself really quick. So while I was working in Milwaukee, writing and doing like painter stuff, when I went to this specific LARP group, they were like, "Oh yeah, there was all this big stuff that happened in like this one by night one, and we're having a big problem with werewolves." And I went, "Why don't we just go and kill all the fucking werewolves then?" And they were like, "What? What?" And yeah, so then I just rounded up like 4 guys, got an ST, and we went and killed all the werewolves. And I was like, I don't know why you guys are such huge pussies. Like, we just did that in like one night. It was super easy. And then my character became sheriff of that area, and everybody loved him.
That's great. That's great.
That's great.
Let's
man.
go, Jackie Golden Boy O'Brien. What a king. Yeah, like that was such a bummer. Like, because like nobody wanted to do anything. Everybody just wanted to sit around in dark clothes and talk about whatever. Like, I don't care. I'm playing a role-playing game. I want to have fun.
Yeah,
And Vampire just doesn't have enough for everyone. That's why I'm a consistent D&D shill, because that's a game that has something for everyone. Literally something for everyone.
yeah. I mean, when
That's why
I
it lasted so long.
when I moved to like, when I should say my family back then moved to like a little bit of a larger town, and I was able to be in a LARP at all. I did go to Vampire because it was the only LARP that existed, and I just ended up making like a few friends, and we just hung out as friends happening to LARP, because it was really just you had to make your own fun, because there was like a group over there doing important shit comparatively, and we were just like also there maybe sometimes, and then let's just have fun together. Cool. And I think a lot of LARP groups, especially as like an in group and an out group, and you have to, if you want to be included in the cool shit, you have to be in the in group, and a lot of the time that's very hard to do.
The guy showing up from like the Chicago chapter and being like, "Wait a minute, the coolest guy in your LARP is like a caitiff? What? How is the coolest dude in this Cambria chapter a caitiff? What do you mean?" And then the answer being, he's the only guy who does anything.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that I will say that's maybe that we did do things. Like, we had a pretty good team of DMs, whatever you call them in LARP, who I don't remember anymore. It's also a German term for me. Who did like do stuff, adventures, and there was like an NPC, some people playing the bad guys and so on. So that worked. That part worked, but it never felt like I myself was ever going to be important to the plot. So I just had fun dressing up and being a cool vampire. And it was its own reward.
My specific thing, and it's a thing I've taken.
1968 Jeep Wrangler. How many kilometers per hour do you? How many miles do you go? Because I have stats for the 57 Camaro here somewhere.
I'm gonna say right now, I know that model of Jeep Wrangler. That ain't so good. That's pretty slow, Chief.
Really?
But anyways, yeah. Like,
I mean, here.
The issue
Chevy. Sorry, it's a Chevy.
With that was people being like, I don't want to lose my character being the prime energy. Why nobody did anything, and that's weird to me. I've always been kind of on the thing of like, yeah, well, it's a role playing game, and there's guns. You might die. Like,
it's. I mean, there's different kinds of people. I will not invalidate that, but I understand where you're coming from. Like, I understand that there's just types of play that don't gel together. And in LARP, you get a lot of people who just like to be their vampire persona. I will call it. It's the same thing as having a persona. It just happens to be dark and gothic and brooding.
Yes, that's so accurate. Because like all the LARPs that I was involved in, they were exactly like that. It was like their persona, except it was their vampire persona.
Oh, 125 miles per hour? That's nice. That's way faster than the 57 Chevy. But I'm afraid, let's see, 100. A normal Jeep is also slower than you. Good job. Limo also slower. A nice car, also slower. But private plane, 160 is very slow for a plane, but it's faster than you. But it's flying. I mean, that's fine. Sports car also slower, but we have to accept that happens.
Okay, so I don't know.
Skelly, thank you by the way for the redeems. I did drink, I did stretch. I didn't. Yeah, talking. I didn't draw attention.
Next time, I'm gonna need something good next time. I'm gonna need like 2 tabletop talks of good games. Can we manage this?
I think we have been. I think we said initially that we are like, oh, Emery always brings the good game. I think we are gaslighting you into doing that too, so we have a break from this garbage. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it is legitimate though. I tend to try to push things I find interesting less than good. Like where like I like Legendary Adventure, and we talked about that because I think that game's fascinating because it's Gary Gygax with no editing.
Yeah.
It's just Gygax's raw vibes of like what does that guy want out of a game. And that's unique to me.
Yeah,
that's
I will. I mean, I will never give you that Legendary Adventure is a good system, but I would play it.
But I would. That's the thing. That's why I said interesting, not good.
Yeah. So can we nail down the next 3 then? Also, next Tabletop Talk is going to have to be in 3 weeks because in 2 weeks I have a special event planned. For the day before, I'm going to try 24-hour stream, and I will not be able to Tabletop Talk on no sleep. That's not going to happen.
No.
So next one, because what is coming out, there's actually a couple things coming out next Tuesday, which is the craziest. Next Tuesday is straight up like, oh hey, it's tabletop day. So just for the D&D heads, the new Mordenkainen's book with all of the huge racial rebalance is coming out on Tuesday. Which is going to be super fun because I'm going to have to hit up both stream games and be like, hey, if you guys want to check these rules out, you can go ahead because of my content sharing and whatever. But also coming out on that day, it should be shipped to me that week, is going to be the Dark Souls tabletop, which I am also going to be getting a PDF for. So we're going to have 2 weeks to go over that in full and really check it out.
Okay, then I'm more happy that we are doing the extra week because I would not have probably had much time to go over it.
Oh yeah,
exactly. That's why I'm actually totally cool with like, let's take a pause on it so that we can really dive into it because it's a like a 5e SRD supplement book, but it is the weirdest bending of the SRD I have ever seen, down to like having no requirements for any weapons or armor.
Oh, that's good. I mean, in my opinion,
anybody can use whatever they want as long as they have the stats for it. And you get specific character abilities, like weapon arts that you can do that spends your health, and you roll your health at the beginning of every battle because that's also your stamina bar. That's the kind of shit they're doing.
Oh, I love it.
It's so weird. It's such a weird, cool system that I was like, everything I read, I was like, oh my god, yeah. There. Not only do we have to cover this, but like, this is going to need like kind of an in-depth look because this is weird.
I enjoy the idea of doing a modern game as well because it's like, oh, where have we gone now? What's the bleeding edge right now of game design? Because the Dark Souls game, there's only two outcomes to releasing it. Either it's a cash grab and it's going to be terrible, or they're actually going to have good people have worked on it, and I think they know to put good people on it.
So it's done by Steamforged, the same guys who did the actual Dark Souls tabletop game.
Yeah,
and they've often said, hey, if you're doing mini combat, you can just go ahead and use these minis because these are super expensive. Please use these minis instead of buying new ones. And I'm down with that. Like, that game was good. It was really fun. I enjoyed my time with it. And so I feel like these guys have a really good idea of how like tactical on the board combat works, which, I mean, that's my jam. Everybody knows that I like my tactical combat, so
Cool. Yeah.
Being
Awesome.
big Emery heads in chat. Nobody's a big Emery head in chat.
Oh, I mean, maybe.
No.
I am.
No. No.
I'm in chat.
Valid. So yeah, honestly, I'm just excited to see kind of how that movement and momentum based gameplay works. Just because I've never really seen somebody push it that hard. And like I don't know if it's going to be great or if it's going to be whack. I'm pretty sure it's going to be equal measures, both great and whack.
Yeah, I think a game like that with big rules, it might need like a errata pass usually, but if it's overall good, then who cares? So okay. Can we nail down the next 3 games so Emery can have peace of mind? So next one is going to be Dark Souls. And it's my turn. I said Teenagers from Outer Space, which is a lighthearted fun game, which I like and genuinely like and have played, and it is fine.
Yep.
And Drake, what do you want to do next?
How about we do another one that's technically, well, not really bleeding edge since it's been a couple of years, but Blades in the Dark.
Ooh.
That's going to be really interesting because I don't like Blades in the Dark.
Really?
That's going to be a really fun episode.
I've heard things. I've heard relatively good things from some people. I've never read it, so I cannot comment right now.
I can tell you right now that is such a I'm obsessed with my setting book that I don't like it. It feels like a person who has written their setting and went, D&D is too slow, because it's straight up just like a D&D thief campaign. Like that's what it reads like. And then they go, no, this is my unique setting, and every day of the week matters, and every single burg in the city is super specific and does this. And like you have to know that setting to play it. Like if you don't read the setting dossier, you are fucked. You cannot play that game without knowing the setting backwards and forwards.
Blades in the Dark is just Dishonored. Okay.
I mean, I had the opposite reaction. It felt like a setting where I could just hand people a paragraph and they'd know what I was talking about.
Okay, so if you both know it, I will be the person in the middle.
There is a Dishonored role-playing game. And do you know who makes it?
Odysseus?
Yeah.
Of course. Why would you even ask, Emery? Why would you even ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our gods and masters from Odysseus.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's it for Tabletop Talk today, right? I think we are done with
This was a weird episode.
It was, but I vibed with it. I'm not coming off this in a bad mood, honestly.
No, I'm in a mood, surprisingly. Like this is not like Cinnabar where I sat down. I was just sitting at my desk for 3 hours, like disparaging life. I'm like pretty down with it.
Like, Emily, just look at this dog again. He has a little crossbow. He has a little crossbow. You know what? This dog has the trench coat power, and that's I vibe with this even more now.
True. I still like that lizard, like trying to give the gluck to that man. I really vibe with that. That's an energy.
I agree.
We can't start this furry versus scaly discourse though.
No, we don't. Also, is this really a No, we shouldn't gatekeep scalies. It's fine.
No.
Might be a space slug though. It's my point.
Maybe.
And the teeth say it's a scaly, but I don't know. Yeah. So unlike other episodes, I'm gonna stay on for a little bit. So, but if you two want to do your own thing, that's fine. I'm gonna do redeems and stuff. I couldn't do on.
That's awesome. Honestly, I'm just vibing. Like gamers, I'm super excited for the next couple episodes, because I'm gonna say I have projected episodes. This is the first time that we've ever been like, oh, I know exactly what we're doing in like 6 weeks or 8 weeks. So you know what I just found? Something I've been looking for literally a year as we've been doing this show. I found the first edition of Stormbringer, done by Chaosium. Remember, the Stormbringer RPG was done by the Call of Cthulhu guys. So I have the first edition of Stormbringer and Elric, which is basically the prototype for their 5th edition.
Okay. Ooh.
And so after all these years, I've finally found it. And not only that, but hey, they're readable. They're really good scans.
One day I will find the original Haven City of Violence book, and then we will do that.
Fuck.
But it's not.
Okay.
I keep looking for it, but I have not found it. I have only found the D&D one. You are so lucky.
Yeah, I am. Oh boy, I am.
Okay, let's go through these redeems real quick. And anyone who is new here, don't be too surprised. So, Sundered End, an hour ago, you wanted Spankies, so that's what you're gonna get now. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Then we had a compliment for Azure. Azure, are you still here? Oh, Wax, you are cute. Now we can do that too. Azure, are you still here? If not, I will redeem that. I will milk baby free hacker. It's still living rent free in so many OG tabletop talk people's brains. Milk baby lives rent free forever.
That's gotta be on the bingo card.
Yeah, it's milk baby. Milk baby is one of those that might not come up, but if it does, it comes up hard.
Yep, it does.
I really like that. It's
Yeah, if Azure isn't here, I will. If Azure doesn't talk in chat, I will refund that one. Let's see. We had and a compliment for Sundard, who is still here. Sundard, as always, you're a real trooper for sitting through these garbage episodes. And I know out of all the people here, you might be taking the deepest lessons from all this because you are really into this stuff, and I vibe with that really hard. Like, I legit think you can, with your knowledge, I think you could eventually get something published, honestly, if you work hard on that. And that's good praise, I think. Yeah, Azure, okay, I will refund Azure's compliment. Even better, I will send Azure's compliment privately on Discord because I obviously have them there.
oh shit. What an episode. So wait, when's the episode where we dunk on my shit? Oh, wait a minute.
Give me your shit. I mean, not literally, but what's your shit?
That would be legitimately such a trip if, like, one of you were like, I found this shit system published like 7 years ago. Look at this nonsense.
Okay, no, I don't vibe with playing Lost Ark. Otherwise, we might rate that person, but no.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know, man. Doing this show has simultaneously killed my hope for like the industry, and also made me really, really stoked that it would actually be pretty solid to get like a pretty low funded Kickstarter.
For
publish something like that's perfectly fine. Like it's not.
Oh yeah.
If these idiots can do it, you know.
Yeah, it's I keep saying that in all the time. That if you think you can't get published, realize that all the people who we ever talk about on this show have been published.
Yeah,
like,
and they were published before Kickstarter.
Yeah, many of them were. Like, how can you
This was published by one of the most prestige gaming companies of the time.
Yeah, like how can you possibly like be dissuaged? You're just gonna, you know.
Yeah. Also, this one was advertised like crazy in Dragon Magazine. Like, I'm just trying to remember an issue where there wasn't an ad for this after 91.
That's why, like, I had that weird, like, kind of realization moment when you suggested it, because I remember this being in a bunch of dragons.
Yeah.
And it just weirded me out. Like, wait, what is this game? I know what it is, and then we did it, and I hate it.
Yeah, I had like heard of this one, be like, oh, it's a comedy game, cool. That's probably going to be fun to read, at least. And it wasn't. It was such a slog. Fuck it.
Oh, this was hilarious.
Yeah,
this was such
hilariously terrible. Yeah, I mean,
yep.
What we said, like in a side thing, was like, oh, this person probably had a MAGA hat on in their life. I kind of agree, because these jokes are so bad that no one laughed, and then for years, and then they probably got cranky at some point.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I mean. Let's find this person to write. I think let's not rag on dead people any more than we have to.
No, you know what? This guy, he did his thing. He shot his shot.
Yeah.
Good job, man. At least you got something published. I hate your game more than most things that I've read. It's probably in the bottom like 30% of games I've read. But you know what, my guy, you tried and you succeeded in getting it published. Good job.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are going
GG,
to.
You probably had your demons. Honestly, I feel bad for you.
Yeah,
That sucks.
true.
Those demons suck to fight.
That's the big takeaway for me is that like I actually kind of feel sorry for the guy. Whereas
Yeah.
like the other things that we did like Cinnabar and Continuum,
like
no,
those-
I don't feel bad for
Guys
them.
were
Yeah.
assholes. Like
Yeah, is
this
it-
dude is just like a guy
Yeah.
dealing with demons.
Is
I've been an
it-
alcoholic.
Oh, wait, you know what we're reading as is life. That's perfect.
Oh yeah.
Is it like this feels like it's so true, by the way. Yeah, it feels like this guy just we feel sorry for him because he tried very hard with this to be funny, but he just isn't very funny.
Yeah.
This is kind of a lesson. Like the stuff that you find interesting at home is not really applicable to like the stage. This has the same energy of like, man, you're so funny, you should be a comedian. But like comedians, that's a hard fucking job to get up on
Yeah.
stage and have your material ready.
Oh yeah.
But
Like the guy got up on stage and bombed immediately. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like straight up, I'm working on a new home game, and I specifically wanted it to be a home game because I really don't want to put that live. Like, even my live games, I don't expect anybody to be like, oh, that's awesome, that's really fun to watch, because like, yeah, I get it. It's D&D. There's a reason why everybody at Gen Con or people at Gen Cons would tell people not to tell them about their tabletop games, or don't tell me about your character.
Don't work in a game shop ever. Yeah, a game shop ever. Then yeah. Get so many character
And I
stories and
did,
it's grating as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have my shirt. I think I still have my shirt from like Gen Con, I think 2009. That's "Don't tell me about your character."
Nice.
And I
Okay.
wore that too when I worked at a game and record shop, because people would still be like, "You're the D&D guy, right?" Yeah. Oh my god, I want to tell you about my barbarian. I'm like, is it the story about how your barbarian wrestled a giant? Yeah, I've heard it.
Yeah. So the raid message you see right there, it's monkey, and we are gonna spam monkey when we get there, because Ezra's do we good monkey.
He do be the best.
Yeah,
monkey.
yeah, very good monkey for sure. I'm hesitant to say the best because I think Ezra's would disagree with that with being best monkey, but very good monkey.
That's his problem.
Because Ezra's very humble, you know. Anyway, tomorrow I don't have a stream. Monday I will be on a bunch of stuff. Expect a schedule tomorrow actually, because I'm gonna make that tomorrow. So,
yeah.
What's up with you, Emery? Real quick.
I've got basically nothing planned right now. I need to go through my schedule tomorrow, but like, I don't know. I know that the night game continuing against the cult of the reptile god is going to be going, but right now I'm prototyping a lot more YouTube stuff for when I'm finishing out the model. So my streams are probably going to slow down to about 3 a week.
Okay.
In the coming future, excluding Tabletop Talk, that's going to be a special fourth. But yeah, unless I'm doing collabs with other people, I'm probably only going to be live like 3 out of 7 days.
Okay. And Drake, no time for you, but get your fucking internet sorted. God damn it.
Yes,
Start streaming. Go.
Forever.
And we raided. I wanted that worked out perfect.